Like, it's not wanting to capture this. I don't know. It's full screen.
What, OBS?
Yeah, OBS was not wanting to capture your screen. There it is. I'm on the bathroom.
Okay, sounds good. Damn allergies.
All right. So, my mic audio is coming through on my side.
Yeah.
There we go. There we are. That's what I need to see.
Gonna take one more rip because weed.
Oh, crap. I've got to. One more thing.
What's up?
Gotta get this set up on my other side. It won't take me but a second.
No, take your time. I just wanted to go live because I had already scheduled it. And I also want to tweet that we're live.
Yeah.
What's up, Jennifer? How are you today? Kraken and I are about to get the podcast going here.
Yeah, we just finishing just a few little details.
Yeah, we're gonna be live probably for a few hours, I would assume. So let's talk about.
A few hours, yeah, probably. On average.
So I hope you guys are ready to be yapped at. Because we're about to yap your ears off. Oh, on my end now, it's showing the overlay. I don't know if that's just you fixing something, but I'm just letting you know.
It is. It will be. That's odd.
Yeah, you need to. So you need to change that. So what you need to do is on your virtual cam, hit the cogwheel next to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now go to output source and change it, or output type and change it to source.
Output?
And then, yeah.
Talking about streaming?
No, hit the cogwheel next to the virtual cam on OBS.
Mm-hmm.
And then it should bring up a menu that says output type and output selection.
Yeah, mine says general, streaming, and recording.
No, so you're hitting the settings button. I'm saying hit the cogwheel next to the button that says virtual camera. Like on my... Yeah, okay, you found
it? Yep.
Okay, so hit output type, source.
Yep.
And then output selection, whatever your camera is default. And then it'll just be your camera. It won't have like your scrolling stuff, but I don't think you care about that.
I got you now.
That's how I like do the overlay in OBS and virtual cam to you, just my camera.
Okay, so...
Hi, babe.
Let me know if this works.
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Figured out something new today. I appreciate it.
Woo! Let's go. We deserve it. I don't know. Just that didn't even fit. I'm just high.
You good? Just
Where the fuck is... No, don't remember where I saved the thumbnail. There it is. I have 3 of them. I don't know what the difference is.
Now I just gotta get this moved down, and we'll be good to start on my side.
Okay, we're gonna talk about SmackDown. Well, first, I want to talk about some contract news. So we're gonna talk about a lot of contract news with about 4 different wrestlers, maybe
Yep.
5, because I guess one's a tag team. And then we're gonna jump into SmackDown review, or like I guess recaps more. I'll say SmackDown, Raw, NXT TNA Showdown, and Dynamite, and then we will preview Bound for Glory and Crown Jewel.
Yep.
And
Can't
we are
wait.
going to continue
Yes.
our prediction series bet that we did because we tied for WrestlePalooza and All Out. So now we have 2 more
Yeah.
PLEs to try to
I don't.
do
I'm
this bet
still
on.
very surprised that we tied on that.
It's funny too because a lot of the matches that we said like that we did pick separately, like that was pretty even, and then it was just the tied matches that really fucked us. I think because we had a few like 4 or 5 matches that were the same.
Yep.
What's up, Raver? How are you? What's up, Nathan? Hope you're doing good, guys. Nathan says on my end, hi, Kraken.
What's up, Nathan?
So we are going to review this last week from Friday on to last night, or I guess Tuesday, since there was no AEW.
Nope, there was no AEW, which was odd. It felt odd. It did.
I was able to play the new skate game for the first time, and I played it for like 6 hours yesterday because of no AEW. It was fucking addicting. What's up, El Gigolo?
I got to catch up on some other stuff that I've been working on, doing like some digital prints, and then got to play that new the zombies for the new Call of Duty.
Ooh. I like zombies. I liked Black Ops 6 Zombies, but I didn't get super hooked into it.
No, I didn't either.
JCW Houston Heat is airing tonight on 7 Eastern on YouTube. Oh shit, El Gigolo. Hell yeah.
All right, we're good on my side now.
Yeah. Let me quickly just go blow my nose, and then I'll be ready.
All right, you're good. All right. Friday Night SmackDown is where we start.
I am ready.
GG, hope you had a fantastic day. Welcome in.
Kraken's chat, hola. All right. You ready for me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Turnbuckle Talk with Josh and Kraken. What is up, Kraken? How you been this past week, bro?
Fantastic. We have finally got over whatever bug that was. We're back to 100%, and we had a fantastic week of wrestling so far. So,
Heck yeah,
great.
man. And I do want to say my bad for missing. I think I already said this, but my bad for missing the one podcast because I just fucking got busy. But we have a lot to talk about, so we are going to immediately jump into this. We have a lot of contract news this week. The big one being Santos Escobar. Initially, actually, let his contract expired. He was offered a contract by WWE, turned it down. Reportedly, he was more, wasn't about money. It was more about the creative side of things. So he turned down a contract initially, but a few days later, it was reported by PW Insider that he re-signed. So he is back with the WWE. Apparently, WWE did give him more money, but I guess a lot of it was creative issues that they are going to listen to him on. So we'll see how that works out. I don't know. I feel like happy for him, regardless of where he would have went. I thought maybe he was going to go to AEW when the news came out that his contract expired, but with him staying, I'm happy for him. He's probably making bank, and that's what's good about having another major American promotion out there, is that these wrestlers are getting more money because of this promotion, because of this boom in wrestling right now. So you love to see it.
Yeah, because Friday was that tag team match, and Santos wasn't there, and I was like,
Los Garza, yeah.
Where's he? Yeah, where is he at? And then come find out his contract was supposed to expire. Didn't know that. I was like, well, he'll probably end up in AEW, and when he does, by God, he'll be picked up by Don Callis.
That's what I
Just
thought too. That's what my fiance Sarah said immediately. Is that she thought he'd be part of the Callis fam.
there's another superpower over there.
But
But yeah,
no,
I'm glad
yeah.
that they.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm just glad they decided to stick with him. I'm just hope he gets more creative control over his character.
I don't even know if it's creative control or if it's just be used more.
Yeah, either way, it's gonna help.
Yeah, definitely. So that was some contract news on him. Also, we had some contract updates earlier this week on Xavier Woods that re-signed a new deal with the WWE multi-year deal, according to Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful Select, as well as Kofi Kingston has re-signed with the WWE. His contract was set to expire, I believe he said in September, but he re-signed, or that might have been Woods. It was one of the two, but both the New Day have re-signed long-term deals. Apparently, Kofi will be sticking around through 2030, which will make him 49.
Yeah, that's 5 years. I'm hoping he gets a singles role at some point because I feel like even as heels, I feel like there's more they could do outside of that.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
Like
I'd
I
like to
really
see
was,
that too, for sure.
yeah, because that's what I was hoping they were doing with the Big E thing, But then they brought him out after this doing a celebration. They all turned,
Yeah,
and now we've just kind of been stuck in the same cycle. Now they've added Waller to it,
the
so
whole Raw tag division's doing nothing. It feels like.
yeah, it is unfortunately.
So that's
mean,
good that they resigned though. So well, hopefully it leads to better tag division storytelling. At least for Raw, that is. SmackDown's is okay for the most part.
oh yeah, you got the SmackDown Tag Champs going to Triple A
Australia.
to
Oh, that too.
challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're challenging Psycho Clown and can't remember his tag partner, but
Well, then we have the New Day, not the New Day, the Wyatts depending this Friday on SmackDown tomorrow. So
that's right. At
um
8 o'clock in the morning. Gotta love it.
I'm not gonna, and I'm not even gonna watch it at 8 p.m. I'm just gonna, whenever I get up and get ready, I'm just gonna go live and react to the Netflix feed of it, and then I'm gonna do my Crown Jewel simulation that I do in 2K, and then I'm gonna probably play some Skate. But I'm gonna do that like on my time. I ain't gonna wait. I'll wake up for Crown Jewel and Raw. I'm not gonna wake up for SmackDown.
Yeah, that's I don't know that. Before the whole Netflix thing and having the ability to do it that way, it made it easier, I think, for people to watch it at 8 p.m.
Well, you still can.
Yeah, if you want to wait.
You just have to avoid spoilers.
Yeah, and that's it's almost impossible now.
As a content creators, it's hard to do. So more contract news. Zeta Steele announced today on her Twitter. She said, "I've decided not to renew my WWE ID contract. I'm incredibly grateful for the knowledge, experience, and opportunities I've gained along the way, but at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me." And she is only 21. She goes on, she says more, but she's 21 years old. Obviously, that only lasted, 6, 7, 8 months? I don't know how long this ID thing's been going. They also did WWE ID let some contracts expire recently. I forgot who those were, but a few of them did. So Zeta was probably one of the more prominent people in WWE ID, featured heavily on Evolve, part of the that faction. I forget their name because I don't watch it, but it's like that frat boys type style faction. At least that's the vibe I get from them. With Jackson Drake, I like the only guy I remember in it. Anyway, so it's pretty, I would say, surprising for someone so young who got their opportunity through this new program at WWE, which obviously worked out really well because she was still doing indies, GCW, all these big indies. Interesting that she decided to not renew. Obviously, whatever those details are, we don't know why. But I am curious because since she's so young and got her foot in the door so early, obviously, who knows? They have such a deep woman talent in WWE when it comes to Evolve and NXT and the main roster, and then the ID. And it's interesting. So now, technically, if you look at it, at least for now, WID's lost Zeta Still, and now they lost Smiling Kylie Ray, who's pregnant. So she's out until she has her baby and comes back whenever that is. So that was like their two most prominent talent for the women on the ID side, except for the one who was in the finals against Kylie, but I forgot her name.
Yeah, I have not I haven't kept up with that as much. And because also I haven't really kept up with Evolve a lot either.
Mhm.
But of course, the social media side of the contract stuff we all see.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been keeping up with those. But I don't know. I hear Evolve is good. I think they're supposed to be having like a first little mini pay per view for it next week.
Hmm.
Or maybe, I think it's called Secession or something. I can't remember right off.
Oh, okay. I think I did hear about that, but I forgot.
But yeah, I mean, I hear it's good. People like it. I know a lot of people from LFG doesn't go to Evolve, so I don't know if you keep up with that.
I think I've been told that. I just don't remember.
Yeah, there's so much wrestling based stuff going on now.
Oh yeah. And then the last contract update we have is the Inspiration, which we saw on Tuesday's NXT TNA Showdown. Former Iconics contracts expire this Sunday, which is the Bound for Glory. So I guess Monday technically that'd be. So Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay will be free agents. They just signed short-term deals. They just returned. They just won the Knockout Tag titles literally last Thursday.
Yep.
And their contracts expired this weekend. So, according to SRS on Fightful Select, he says those that we spoke to in TNA say that they have already expressed interest in keeping the Inspiration in the company and that they expect a deal to get done. So that's always good. I was gonna say if they didn't stay, I could see them not being picked up by WWE.
I don't know. I think they got a good pop for NXT. I can see it happening.
I agree, but I just don't think WWE would pick them up in that sense to bring them in. I mean, their women's division is already so deep, and the NXT women's division is still stacked, even though they lost a lot of the main players throughout the year. Like, it'd be either they'd have to be just filling in on the tag division, which feels almost half non-existent for the women as well. But I don't know. I just don't see them coming back to the WWE in full-time capacity anytime soon.
You can
Maybe
put them
just
on
through the
SmackDown.
partnership. Yeah.
Yeah. Put them on SmackDown because, Alba, her and Piper, they are a tag team, but we don't know how long
Piper's neck injury, yeah.
Yeah. So they could fill in the tag division there.
True. But so it looks like they'll be re-signing, so that's good for them because I think they fit pretty well in TNA. So yeah, so I guess I think that's basically all the news, unless there's other news that you could think of from the last week that you want to cover really quick before we get into the reviews and the recaps.
Not on the contract side or anything like that.
Just anything.
Not at all.
News-wise, anything.
No, I mean, not that's really been, I guess, big news-wise.
Yeah, not that I can think of.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so we'll actually talk about a SmackDown. We might glaze over this. I don't know, unless you have a lot of notes on it. I don't remember a whole lot of it. So SmackDown started out this week with Cody Rhodes starting off the show. Oh, was it Cody or was it? Yeah, it was Cody, and then immediately Paul, right? And them interrupted him.
Yeah, I don't even think Cody got to talk a lot. I think Paul just automatically interrupted him.
And it led to, of course, the Bronze were with him. And it led to Randy coming out to no music. He just came out, disappeared. And that was pretty cool because his entrances last forever. And now with everyone singing, they last like 5 minutes, it feels like. Maybe not that long, but you know what I mean. They're pretty fucking long now. So they have a confrontation with Paul Heyman. I actually don't remember much that was said, but besides, I think Paul just wanted to actually talk to Orton. He basically was telling Orton, so the way it came off to me was like, hey, remember when you were friends with Seth type of, like, I'm just the way I understood everything. Want to be friends with him again? That's the way it kind of sounded to me.
Yeah, it did. And then he also planted those seeds of doubt in Rhodes' mind about Randy being his true friend, not being just for the title, but him wanting the title. Which then we still got Orton staring at the undisputed title like he's done for the last year, as if he's gonna turn heel.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that that's where they're slowly edging towards at some point, but I don't know.
So that just eventually led to the main event being the Bronze versus Randy and Cody in tag action. So we'll get to that for the main event. So I mean, an okay opening segment. I'm not gonna lie, this whole SmackDown was forgettable to me. So
It was.
it's been bad for a while now.
Yeah, I seen that they're switching up creative. It was announced after this show, before Monday Night Raw.
I mean, when you have content creators vocally, I've seen big and small. I've seen people who have bigger followings saying that they're enjoying more other products right now, whether that be AW or TNA or NXT, more than the main roster. You know, whatever that may be that they're enjoying more of right now. A lot of people aren't enjoying the main roster like they did in 2023. Right now, and I agree. I feel like it's like they're almost going through the motions with a lot of these storylines. I'm not wanting like a crazy, one of a kind, amazing, non-forgettable storyline, but at least make it somewhat unique.
Yeah, and this, like, the next matchup on SmackDown, the open challenge.
Yep.
I don't feel like it's been a true open challenge.
Really?
I mean, yeah, he done it with he done it with Cena first. That was paying his respect. That's cool. And then Carmelo challenges you backstage for the next week. All right, cool. And then I can't remember who it was. It was Javon Evans. So that was a surprise one.
Yeah.
And that was a fantastic match. And then this one, we was gonna get Hayes again, Carmelo. But of course,
Miz attacked him because before this, we saw Carmelo
Yeah.
backstage and Melo was gonna go do the open challenge, and Miz was like, "No, we gotta focus on tag team, blah 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 blah." And Carmelo was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do my thing that's best for me. Like this between us is done." And Miz, of course, didn't like that, so he walked out on the Miz. So when he came out, he, did that skull crushing finale to him. But it led to a good match. I respectfully disagree. I think it's been a very good open challenge. I don't know if you mean like in the sense of like it has like we only had technically one, like, okay, who is it? And the rest we kind of found out. I don't know. Like the Cena one they announced right as he announced he was going to do the open challenge. The Carmelo one was answered, like you said, that same week, like for the next week. And then the one for Mello, the one for Javon was the surprise one, like the one that actually was like he went in the ring. Who the fuck is it? And then it was a surprise this week too. It just they set up a story with it. I don't know. I don't know exactly how you mean it hasn't been like an open challenge.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wanting to see more people from like NXT that's in my opinion, is ready to be moved up, and this is kind of like their test to go up against the mid card title holder, like Tony D'Angelo, Obafemi, Briggs.
I don't think we
People
need it
like
to be a
that.
ton of NXT talent though, because like you still have a lot of main roster talent that could be fighting for that title, especially on SmackDown. The Damien, you got Drew, you got we saw Alistair, who's the one who ended up answering the challenge, which was great, which I fucking was super hyped for, and it turned into a great match, by the way.
It was a great match, I will say.
That was the match of the night for SmackDown, and yeah, I mean, like I'd have to pull up the full roster here, but I mean, maybe when Ray returns, that would be a cool person to see in there. I know you're thinking more younger side. I totally get that, but like I don't know. At this point, I'm just like. I wouldn't hate that either, though. I wouldn't hate if we saw Oba or Tony or Josh
and maybe because it is an
Briggs
open
or
challenge,
Wesley or whatever.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where we've seen Kevin have an opportunity to make his debut.
That's where Kevin fully made his main roster debut too.
Yeah,
he was
and
NXT
Sami
champion.
Zayn, he had that open challenge. That's why he done that with Cena. So maybe that's where I feel that way about it.
Cena did it with a lot of main roster talent though too.
Yeah, he did, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it personally. I think it's been great. Been the highlight of SmackDown each Friday. But yeah, so on Alistair and I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad Mello and Miz is done. But obviously, it's going to lead to a feud now. So I hope that's short and sweet. Honestly, but yeah, so Miz versus Mello should be interesting. But I'm excited for Alistair. He's been kind of in like a main scene, facing Damien from world champion, now going for the US title. And ironically, fun stat, maybe not a fun stat for Alistair Black fans, that was Alistair Black's first ever main roster single title opportunity. Besides like a Rumble or something.
Should have happened way before now.
Yeah.
Even before he was released.
Very, very good match. Obviously, Damian Priest comes out, causing the distraction, leading to the Haluva connecting into the Blue Thunder Bomb, which he's won with like 3 times now. He's kind of been winning with the Blue Thunder Bomb a lot more. So Sami Zayn wins and retains, of course. So we're gonna get Damian and Alistair, I believe, tomorrow. I think it was a last man standing.
I do believe so.
Something like that. It's a gimmick of some sort. So that should be interesting. They actually have a really good card for the per SmackDown, but I just cannot justify waking up early because watching it live, even if on paper good card, it's like, yeah, I'll wait.
It's crazy.
Especially since I'll just use the VPN and I'll just skim through like all the entrances and unimportant shit and just see what I need to see.
The backstage chaos.
I did that for 4th of July because the 4th of July one was like fully taped. Oh, that was SmackDown. It was like fully taped and it didn't even air live on Netflix. They just dropped it as a like, here you go, you could watch the whole thing now. And I was like, oh damn, because I remember me and Sarah,
Wow.
I skipped over entrances and we just watched the important stuff and then we were done with it in like an hour and 10 minutes. Then we went and watched the fireworks. It worked out really good. But yeah, good match. So after that, we saw Priest attack Aleister Black and he razor edged him through the commentary desk. So rip Aleister. Poor guy. Anything to say on this match?
I mean, it was a great match. Aleister pushed Sammy to the limit, which is good for Aleister because I feel even back in the pandemic, him and Ray and Seth and all that happened with the eye being taken out, he deserved a title push at that point.
Definitely.
And a lot of people have called Aleister a mid-carder since he's came back, that he's not doing what he should be. I don't agree with that. I think the storyline with him and Priest continuing also is good.
I love it just because, again, like I said, it's a main event guy and Damian Priest, former world heavyweight champion, and he's feuding with him. That's great positioning for Aleister.
Yeah, I don't see why people call him the mid, like he's a mid-carder at this point.
To them, it's title or nothing, I feel, for a lot of people. And that's why they like that there's so many titles and they're content with like there being 2 world titles, 2 tag titles, 2 men's mid-card, 2 women's mid-card. And then you got the fucking speed titles now in NXT. And you have the NXT titles. You know what I mean? There's so many. And then the Evolve stuff. And then the ID stuff. There's so many fucking titles. So people care so much about the titles because there's so many of them, which is weird because to me there's just so many of them I don't care about them. The only ones I really feel care any connection to right now are the world titles for both men and women. That's it.
Yeah, I will say like AEW got a ton of titles, but they try to make them relevant.
Yeah, they do. Every company does. New Japan does. I feel like they've kind of done away with some of them because I feel like I don't even hear about the never open weight 6-man tags anymore and all kinds of other shit. So, but yeah, no, I hope WWE. When I think about what they can get rid of, it's more of the speed titles at this point because on the main roster, I feel it's fine. There's still a lot of titles. I mean, you got the 2 men mid card, the 2 women mid card. You have the world titles for both men and women. You have the women's tag. You have the 2 men's tags. So that's quite a lot for main card only. So they don't need to add shit for that. I hope they never do at this point.
No, and the Intercontinental seems more important on Raw than the tag titles right now.
Yeah. I mean, tag titles haven't felt that important for Raw in a long time. So after that match, we had a backstage segment from earlier in the day with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire interrupting Zaruka, who were talking with Nick Aldis. He was kind of like insinuating about them possibly coming up to SmackDown soon. That's when Chelsea and them got involved and set up a match with Alba and Chelsea versus Zaruka, which was a solid match. It wasn't really long. It was like, I think it got like a commercial break, so it was probably like a 10-minute match tops. A lot of the match took place during commercial, I'd say. But Soul Ruka, her Soul Snatcher, man, is so fucking good. It's just a cutter, but it's like a springboard fucking front flip cutter, I guess, if you want to get technical. But it's insane. Like, just she could hit it off of so many different variations, like people doing different things, catching them coming in the ring, catching them standing in the middle of the ring. She like it's such a creative move. Like cutters are in general, but like just the way she does it is so awesome. And that was probably the highlight of the match, honestly, was the finish.
I think every time she's in the ring, I try to see how she's going to set it up just so I'm prepared for the chaos that could happen. And I think with that finisher, she, like you said, it's be able to hit anywhere, and we seen that in the first ever Women's North American. She done it off the ladder.
Hmm.
It's just it's got so many variations. But no, with this Zolruka, because of course Zolruka and Zarya, they look great as a tag team, but I think they're falling apart, and I think that's what's going to push Soul to the main roster.
Yeah, I think Zarya is gonna be the one that takes the North American title off her eventually.
Yep.
Excuse me. After this match, we had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair backstage talking about facing Zaruka for the titles. They said they looked impressive. They kind of compared them between them two, like how they're kind of not getting along with them, how they weren't getting along. And yeah, kind of like a forgettable little backstage, but it's kind of just setting up a tag match for the four. I definitely think Alexa and Charlotte will retain if this tag match happens.
Yeah, it will be, like I said, it's a good match for both of them to show their ability, Zarya and Zolruka. But this, like, is in my eyes, is how they're going to really see if they're ready to come up.
So after that, we went to commercial, but we came back and there's like a little recap of Raw. But we had Cody and Randy, a little backstage statement like, "Hey, are we still good?" Because Cody is kind of realizing he's been eyeing the belt. So Randy's like, "Hey, yeah, we good, man." So that was about it. And then we had the contract signing with Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton for their Crown Jewel match, which I found funny that they needed a contract signing for this match when they didn't do it for the men. But whatever. So it was pretty plain and point and simple, honestly. I thought it was going to be pretty boring until they had the Julia attack Tiffany when Tiffany was leaving, but basic, hey, I'm going to win, you're a tough opponent. Oh, I'm going to win, you're a tough opponent. Yay, us, Crown Jewel. That was basically what it was. Respect on both sides, no craziness, until when Tiffany was leaving, Julia attacked Tiffany on her way out of the ring, which led to, of course, Julia helping out. I mean, not Julia, Stephanie helping. Because of course, Kiana wants to try to get a faction going. Or did she talk to Stephanie first? Actually, I forget.
Yeah, she talked to Stephanie about
That's right,
having
she
her
did.
join.
That's right. And that's when Stratton attacked Kiana. Okay, that I remember.
Yeah, I set up the tag team match next week.
Yeah, can they coexist? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Classic WWE. And then we saw again backstage with Nick Aldis, Javon Evans, and to basically keep in touch with Nick Aldis, that he has a bright future ahead of him, and he'd love to have him. He could see a lot happening for him on SmackDown. And that's when Rey Fenix rolled up and congratulated him on his match with Sami Zayn, even though he lost. And that's when we saw Los Garza roll up, and they were like, "Oh, are you babysitting?" Blah blah blah, and it set up a tag match. Now Rey Fenix is still not tagging with Penta, but now Javon Evans took on Los Garza, which is actually a really solid match. It was actually really good.
Yeah. What's crazy, Rey Fenix and Javon Evans have great potential as a tag team.
Oh, 100%.
Kind of like Andrade and Rey Fenix did, but these two, their high flying ability could change the tag division on SmackDown.
Oh, it really could. And there was a spot here, and I remember pretty good. It was Phoenix, he was getting beat down, and Javon was trying to get hulked up for the hot tag, and the crowd's getting all hyped up for the hot tag. And Javon's over there doing like the warrior on the apron. He's fucking shaking the fuck out of the ropes, making a crazy ass face. And I started cracking up because I thought that was funny. And then he gets tagged in, the hot tag. He comes in and starts wrecking shit. And he wrecks shit so hard, eventually he has Angel on the outside, and he does his dive outside. But the fucking cameraman's like right there, and but he doesn't like take out the camera, but he hits the cameraman. And the cameraman's kept his balance. You can tell he got all off balance and everything, but he was able to like go up against barricading. Yeah. And then you can see he hits Angel too. He takes them both. But you can see once Javon gets back in the ring, you see Angel side-eyeing the cameraman to see if he's okay. But I thought that shit was hilarious. Javon went crazy. But of course, Javon and Rey Fenix get the win over Los Garza. I always find it funny when a new tag team defeat like a tag team that's existed for a long time. So kind of feel bad a bit for Los Garza. But at least they're getting more TV time, it feels like.
I mean, Los Garza was, I think they were former NXT tag champs. I don't think
Gosh,
they've
I don't
had
even
the tag.
know.
And then they just were the AAA tag team champs. So
Yeah, that's right.
you just defeated a former tag team. So there's good potential there if they keep running with them. And
Yeah,
then of
so
course
we'll see. I wonder if they're just gonna keep Legato still going now that Santos resigned.
maybe I would almost think so, but I don't know. I'm hoping Santos can get out of that because he didn't get a lot of in match time.
Yeah,
It was
I
more.
don't think if you want to present him as a more of an upper mid carder now, you don't put him right back into Legato and feud with Legato. Like you don't just split him and feud him. I say you just split him and move on. What I would honestly do is I would move him into NXT just for like a month or two, win the NXT title, come up back to the main roster, beat Sammy, be double champ, drop the NXT title to whoever the fuck you want, and whoever beats him, pick your poison. Maybe he loses it back to Saints. I don't care, whatever. But then he's still your US champion. Maybe give Saints the US title match just because he pinned him for the NXT title or whatever. And then there you go. Boom. Santos is the US champ.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, obviously make the stories intriguing, but that's just like my points of like what I would do.
Yeah, that would make sense because it's kind of odd. He hasn't been there at least 2 months with them, and now he's just going to come back. I don't know if he's going to do something. If they're going to do something creative with him, take him out of the group. Hey, move him to Raw. Make him go after Dom. Have him to go face.
I mean, I'm personally tired of Dom always facing the Latino wrestlers. He's Penta, and now he's facing Dragon Lee and Vikingo, and it's just been going most of the year. He's been facing Penta like since fucking March. I'm over it. I'm over it. And I get it, good matches, but I like no, yeah, you're right. But like, I'm just the majority of them are the Hispanic wrestlers.
Yeah,
and I go like they're doing the whole King of the Luchador bullshit. I get it, but I'm just over it. I'm ready for Dom to like. They did the AJ, they did the Rusev. Give me more of that.
Give us like Sheamus.
Just change it up. Yeah, give me a shit. Dude, that would be fire. That would be fucking fire. Sheamus versus Dom. You know how good that would be? Dude, you just gave me a match I never knew I wanted to see. That would be fantastic. I mean, the one I've been wanting to see the most is Cena and Dom, but
that is the hope and prayer for Washington D.C. I'm hoping they
we
don't
got
go
way off track here. We should try to get back on track. We can tell we're wrestling fans. All right. So, anyways, Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix get the win. They interview Damian Priest afterwards, and that's when they set up the match for next Friday. During this, Kit Wilson rolls up in a wheelchair and he like stands up and like acts like it took a lot of strength to do so. And Damian like fucking fucks with him. He's like, "Wow, it's a miracle." Whoever is interviewing him, Kathy or whoever the fuck, he goes, "Isn't that a miracle?" or whatever he tells her. And they're like, like they just kind of look at him like, "Sure." And then he fucking puts him back. He like pushes him back into the wheelchair and he just strolls him off. And Kit just lets it happen. He's like, he like pushes him for a little bit and then just lets go. And then so he goes into whatever. You just hear metal fall and like all kinds of commotion. And like I thought it was funny because you could hear like the metal pole roll forever. It's like they just like making a little noise. And I was cracking up because Damien was still trying to talk at this point and it was still rolling. It was only for like a 2 seconds when he first started, but it cracked me up. You could tell someone finally like grab that, and they stopped it.
Yeah,
but
it was loud.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, so they set up it is a last man standing match against Aleister Black. So that should be a good match, I hope, next Friday or tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it will be. You gotta have Damien win this one because Aleister's won the last couple.
Yeah, Damien has to win this one. Unless you want to really push Aleister to the moon.
Yeah, you could.
Have him be Damien and then move on to, I don't know, Jacob or Drew or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But then you could have Aleister go after Cody if he beats Damien because he beats the champ again.
I'm saying if you want to push him to the moon, you're not going to put him against the title right away. No, I mean, unless you're going to just like, fuck it, I'm putting the title on Aleister. But they're definitely not. But I don't know. But yeah, I think Damien gets the win tomorrow. After that, we had another Solo Sikoa vignette. This is the third one. This time he's talking about Tala Tonga. He did one already on Tongaloa and JC Mateo. And at the end of this one, after we saw Tala say the I love you Solo bullshit that they've been doing now, he says there's something missing. And once he finds the missing part, everyone, and he means everyone, is on notice. What do you think that is?
It's Tamatanga. It has to be.
That was my prediction too. So I don't know. When does he come back then? Because do they have anything with Solo announced, like matches or anything coming up? I don't think so.
They haven't. No. And my thing is he cleared because he had surgery.
Mhm.
That's why LA Knight took him out. You know, he smashed his hand in the car to start that SmackDown a couple months back. So
Feels like it was way longer than that.
it probably was, but I don't know. If he's cleared, you could probably have him come back on the first SmackDown back in the States.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're going to do it. Have him answer the open challenge. I mean, they got an open challenge tomorrow.
Yeah.
You could have him answer that. That would put, but then you're going to have him return and lose.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, I was gonna say because then in theory you would want to have the whole MFT come out. Yeah. That would, but also Solo wants the US title, so that would also make no sense. So I don't know, but I do think it's Tama Tonga. Of course, there's a slew of people. Oh, it's gonna be Zilla Fatu, or it's gonna be what's the guy named that the other Fatu that's down in the PC or NXT? That's
Lance
NOI. Yeah. Like, I mean, can be. I mean, Zilla would make sense just because he does have a following and he's popular and whatnot. But Tama would make the most sense.
When Zilla shows up, and we're gonna get off subject again, I think he's gonna go with Jacob.
I think he goes straight to NXT. I think he gets the Solo Sikoa treatment. He goes down to NXT for a year or so. No, not at all.
I mean, I could see that because he's in what reality of wrestling is what Booker T has down there in Houston.
Yeah,
and he's been doing HOG. I think he done a few GCW, so he's doing the indies right now. But
yeah,
I guess you could have him go to NXT, do it by himself for a while there.
That's my prediction, at least if he does sign a WWE. But yeah, so I do think it's Tama Tonga though for sure.
Yeah, it has to be. I don't know who else it would be at this point.
So after that, we come back from commercial to BFAB and Street Profits talking. They have like a TV behind them that eventually gets all staticky and turns into a Wyatt 6 vignette of Eric Rowan telling them that he still considers themselves family after everything comes crashing down. Basically insinuates that like, well, the Profits still have each other's back and stuff like that. Kind of still insinuating that they might split. Yeah. So that match is happening next Friday. Wyatt's Profits. Just a quick little segment, nothing too crazy. Unless you have something to add to that.
Why can this not be on the Crown Jewel card?
No idea. We only have 4 matches announced, don't we? No, 5 because they just announced. 5. Yeah, Roman and Bronson. We'll talk about that here soon.
I got the card pulled. Yeah, but like we have 2 title matches, and they're not even for the actual titles.
Yeah, that's the Crown Jewel matches.
So you can't throw a tag match in there. You can't throw a women's Intercontinental in there.
That's why they're like, it's okay. SmackDown's in person. They're doing it on there.
I guess. I don't know.
I get it. They want a big match on the weekly show. I get it.
I do too. But like, you added all these titles, the mid card titles. We've always had the men's. You added the women's, but they don't really get the pay-per-view light unless it's SummerSlam, War Games, Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania.
Yeah. So after that we had the main event, Braun and Braun versus Cody and Randy. Nothing really crazy here, in my opinion. Just typical match, kind of typical ending with the Brauns getting the win. Of course, Paul Heyman ran interference. Seth Rollins came and hit the stomp. I think it was a stomp. And then, of course, Bronson hit the tsunami, the win. And pinned pinned Randy Orton. I was gonna say Cody for a second, but it was Randy. But yeah. So afterwards, we saw the Vision trying to leave. Seth was like, you know what? I see Cody getting up. I'm gonna go stomp him. And like you can see Paul telling him like, no, stay here, or whatever he's telling him. And Seth goes in there, goes for the stomp. Cody moves, Skull Crusher, or not Skull Crusher, but the does he hit the crossroads or does yeah, he does. He hits the crossroads. I didn't remember if Seth got pulled out. Yeah. Oh no, Paul stops the bronze. They're trying to get in, and then Paul's like, no, and they don't
let it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So very intriguing that Paul would do that.
Paul is figuring out he doesn't have a Roman Reigns. And when I mean that, Roman listened to almost anything Paul told him. And so did the Usos and Solo.
Yeah.
Because they trusted him. Because their family has forever trusted Paul Heyman.
True.
He now realizes with Seth, he does not have that. Because he does not trust Paul Heyman. And I don't think Paul Heyman trusts him.
Yeah.
And the Bronze were even pissed that they couldn't rush the ring.
Yeah, and so he just has a rogue, like a group of rogue bandits that want to do whatever.
Yep, and then of course we'll talk about it here in a minute with Raw. We've seen that play over.
Yeah, definitely.
Into Monday night.
So overall, a pretty solid SmackDown. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Really, like nothing is. I think that's even generous. Honestly, 2.5 out of 5 would probably be more like it. But yeah, nothing too crazy.
I agree. You're missing a lot of aspects here on the show. Like I don't know what's happening to WWE. Or at least
they're coasting right now. They're just coasting.
My God, the coasting for sure. It's gonna come. I don't think it's gonna hurt them because they'll find a way to bounce back.
Yeah,
but you can tell a difference in viewers when people are watching this show compared to what people call the second show, AEW.
True. Yeah, I mean, I would say Raw's more enjoyable right now, and NXT has its moments where it's like this week was good, this week was like okay, this week was good, this week was okay. But Raw, I think, is the more consistent show right now. But yeah, definitely, I'm enjoying more outside of the main roster WWE stuff and outside of the company right now.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. I've always been more of a fan of WWE, but ever since All In, and not just because I was there, I feel like it has tremendously been different.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say since Revolution of this year, March.
Yeah, that's true. Even Double or Nothing when Hangman beat Ospreay.
Yeah, well, all the way through from like from I think it started like at Revolution when the tide started to churn. The interest from more people went into the AEW. But yeah, so Raw though, let's go into Raw from October 6th. Started with Roman Reigns, but immediately is cut off by Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed. Roman tells him, well, basically it just kind of goes down to Paul telling Bronson to listen to him. Like Roman says, let's fight tonight. Bronson wanted to. He ends up listening to Paul not. And Roman's like, oh, I know this whole shtick. You know, you're going to listen to what he says, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, I'm still your tribal chief and all this shit. And then Paul was like, well, he was recruited from Australia for this one match that he never lost, which was... I was like, what is this going to be? And it just turned into a fucking street fight, but they're calling it the Australian street fight. I always laugh when they do this. Even AEW does it. Like they did the Philadelphia street fight recently when they were doing the 2300 residency. I get it. You got to appeal to your local audience. But it's so funny to me, especially when they do like, I'll point more towards like the Donnybrook match they do with Sheamus. It's essentially just an either whatever you want to call it, street fight, extreme rules, hardcore, or whatever, but with specific weapons related to the words they're using. So like, Donnybrook, that meant there was like barrels, like whiskey barrels or whatever you want to call them, and there was like fucking all kinds of random like shit that you'd like find in a bar, stools and little table, like you know what I mean. So yeah. I what are they gonna do for the Australian street fight? Is there gonna be like fucking you think I would remember this off the top of my head, and Sarah's gonna hate me for this, but the fucking shit they put on the bread. How am I forgetting the fucking name to that right now? Oh my god, I don't think you even know what I'm talking about. But it's like that spread shit. Vegemite. My goodness, took me a minute. What if they put Vegemite like just around the ring? Like, you know, what are they gonna do? Kangaroos with Vegemite in their fucking pouch? Like, I don't understand what's making this an Australian street fight.
I don't know. There were people in my chat who were like, "What are they gonna do? Ride kangaroos to the ring? Are they gonna be out there? You know, at ringside? Like, what is a Australian street fight?"
Are they gonna
I
have
even tried
koalas
looking it
hanging
up.
from the posts or like what? Like, I don't get
Like,
it.
I don't know.
It's
And
just a
I
street
even
fight.
tried looking up like a Bronson Reed street fight match when he was in
Australia.
Australia, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing that would be related to it. So
Yeah, I don't know. I bet they'll if they wanted to ever just like they were unsanctioned. That's why you can't. No, but
yeah,
yeah, I always laugh at shit like this. They do it with the Destroyer all the time too. Obviously, it was initially the Canadian Destroyer because P.D. Williams, that was his move. He's from Canada.
mhm.
Whatever, made sense. I don't think they just need to keep calling it the fucking whatever country said wrestler is Destroyer. You know what I mean? So like Penta, they call it
Yeah.
the Mexican Destroyer. It's the same thing with I hate it. Just call it the fucking Destroyer. Just call it a street fight. Who cares? Why does it have? I get you're
Anyone,
appeasing to your local audience. I get it, but it sounds so stupid in theory.
yeah, it does.
Oh,
Just if it's a street fight, it's a street fight.
it's a street fight.
If
Unless
it's
they're
a
gonna
destroyer,
have Australian related weapon. Here's a fucking whatever they use to play cricket. Here's that the bat for cricket. I don't know.
I mean
You
that
know
would
what I
make
mean?
sense. Yeah,
Like, but that's so comical to me. Like, there's just like, okay, it can't just be tables and ladders and chairs and fucking kendo sticks. I mean, sure, they'll still be a part of it, but you know what I mean? That's just where my mind initially was like, oh, okay, so they're gonna be using koalas and Vegemite and kangaroos. But yeah, pretty solid opening segment. I don't know. I don't really remember much of what was said before the whole Australian street fight thing, though.
the only big thing that stuck out to me was Bronson Reed referring back to the Wild Samoans about how they
Oh
would be,
yeah, they never
um,
got stretchered out.
yeah, how they never got stretchered out. What would they think of you, Roman, now that you've been stretchered out and all that? Trying to really get
They
under
said
Roman's
Paul said
skin
that
with
was the first time Romans got stretchered out, but he got stretchered out like twice by Braun Strowman during their feud in like 2018 or something.
Yeah, Braun Strowman pushed this man off of a loading dock. Off
On a
of while he
stretcher.
was hooked on a
Yeah,
stretcher.
yeah. He was getting stretchered
It's-
out, and Braun tacked him even more.
maybe the big dog Roman Reigns don't count.
I guess, right? Yeah, it's not the tribal chief, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, the tribal chief.
Paul Heyman did address I guess Braun Strowman might have said something on Twitter about it, and I'm not really sure, but all I saw was the Paul reply, and Paul like did like a notepad reply, and it was like, Mr. Strowman, I'm so glad to hear from you. I'm like paraphrasing, but it was like something along the lines of, although I didn't know that you were still alive or something like that. That's so fucked up. It was something like that, but it was funny. But yeah, so he's been stretchered out before, but they said on Raw he never had until Bronson and Braun.
Yeah, so yeah, I pulled that up. Yeah, but he did say, in fact, I'm actually relieved and indeed celebratory to learn you're still alive. Something most of us didn't realize or even fewer cared about.
Ouch. I know he's in character, and Braun probably laughed at that when he read it, but Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I don't that's crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just saw that today, so that was funny. So yeah, so that match is gonna happen at Crown Jewel. I would rather see Braun Breaker, but it makes sense. You know, he stole his shoes multiple times. The way the match happened at what was it, WrestlePalooza? Or not WrestlePalooza? Was it where did they fight? Was it? I don't even remember where Roman and Braun fought the first time. Bronson. I forgot now. Was it SummerSlam?
Wasn't SummerSlam. That was a tag match.
We didn't have. Was it a Saturday Night's Main Event?
Yeah, it was Palooza. No, Palooza was Jay.
Wasn't Palooza?
Oh my! Where did it happen?
That's what I'm saying. I don't even remember, dude. Anyways, my point being, I would have preferred Braun Breaker versus Roman, but I get why this is continuing. And plus Australia, Bronson, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I just I don't know. Clash in Paris. That's what happened.
How did we forget Clash in Paris? So many events. So many events.
So much going on in between now and then.
I know. There's so much. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it should be a good match. Here's the thing. We already talked about it a few times. Right now, WWE's been boring. The only thing I'm super into right now when it comes to anything storyline, probably AJ Lee, whatever she does when she comes back, because she's been gone since her match with that tag match. The Bailey stuff I'm intrigued by. And that's about it right now. And maybe the EO stuff with Rhea and Asuka and Kairi, but not really a whole lot. Like, that sucks to say. Like, I'm not really invested in the Vision right now, which is the top act.
I mean, I'm interested in what they're doing with Jay, because I'm still waiting on the hey, he turned heel. Okay, it finally happened.
Yeah.
The Rhea EO stuff, that's been good. The personality with Bailey has been fantastic. But like the Vision, it just I don't know. I think they kind of lost that when they had the Bronsons lose at SummerSlam, or the Bronze lose at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and of course, then I forgot to bring up that they did brawl here, Rowan and Bronson, and it was broken up and stuff like that. But yeah. So after that, we saw Asuka. She was yelling at Adam Pearce backstage, saying that they wanted a match tonight for Io and Kairi. Actually, it sounded initially like she wanted the tag match tonight instead of at Crown Jewel. But then Pierce was like, she's in Australia already doing media, and then it turned into Io versus Kairi. This is kind of the way I understood it. And then so that she said, all right, let me go talk to Io, and then I'll get back to you. And then he was stepped away. Kairi walks up, and that's when Asuka breaks the news that she's going to be facing Io. And then Kairi didn't want to. She was like, what? And basically tries to like she's still her friend and stuff. And yeah, so they're making Kairi the poor innocent one here. Oh, yeah, and then she also got yelled at by Asuka, and Asuka slapped her in the face.
Oh yeah, she just slapped the shit out of her. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then she walked away, and then that's when Kairi just stood there shocked, and then she's like, Kairi again.
Yeah, she done that fantastic yell.
But yeah, so poor Kairi. I actually feel more bad about Kairi in this whole storyline than anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know. But we've seen more of her being okay with everything throughout this.
She still follows through with it. She listens to orders, yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we had a really fucking good match. In my opinion, best match I've ever seen of Maxine Dupri's career versus Becky Lynch.
Yes, absolutely.
And not like in the case of like, and probably you can attribute it to some of this, but not in the case of like Becky carried her. Oh my God, Becky's a god. More of Maxine has been putting in the fucking work. It showed. Really?
Like, yeah, in my opinion, Becky seemed gassed. That's why she would bounce her off the table, and Maxine would, of course, she would take the bump, and then you'd see Becky like walk away and just seem like she was tired. Like in my opinion, Maxine gave probably Becky the run for the title that she hasn't had yet.
I'm gonna just say I think she was just selling to make it seem like it was that big of a challenge, and that she was tired because Maxine was the tougher test than she expected. That's what I'm gonna guess, but maybe you're right.
I don't know. In this match, the ref Jessica should have called it 3 when she like hit the mat.
There was that one point, and the crowd started chanting, "Ref, you suck." Yeah, so there was a point where Maxine. It was when they showed the replay though. It didn't look like she did the whole stop thing though. It just looked like Becky did a really good job of kicking out right before she hit 3.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The
replay when they showed that replay, because I was like with like the rest of my chat, I was like, that was 3. What the fuck? And then they showed the replay, and I was like, wow, that might be one of the best 2.9s I've seen this year.
Yeah, it was damn close. If it wasn't 3, it should have been.
I mean, it was close. I remember because I remember telling my chat like, "Holy shit, that replay saved that," because I thought that was 3.
And then I think there was another moment in the match that she almost forgot. Like it was right there again.
I think she just was doing the whole like instead of like super dramatic kick out, she just went really just leaned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it seem like desperate. Like, I got up barely. That's the way I perceived it.
But
I think she was doing her best to
Maxine.
make Maxine seem like a threat, is what I really think. I said it's not. This wasn't a whole case of Becky carrying. I think her selling, she just took it to the next level. This for Maxine. She really wanted to make Maxine look good.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, but I think this was her best match, even if there
hands
was
down.
the good selling and stuff. I think this is her best in-ring performance I've seen.
This was Maxine's match of her career. Like it was phenomenal. It was. But the ending I hated. But I like the way they gave. So Maxine wins. Shocker, if you're listening in. But I do like that they gave it to her via countout. They didn't have Becky like get pinned and have to set up a rematch. Or they probably still will because it was countout. Because Becky was mad later on about this. But Becky, it wasn't like she got like beat down to where she couldn't make it in the ring count out. It was she was being cocky, standing on the commentary, and you could tell Jessica Carr sped up her count here. So it was like, obviously like the 1 through I think it was 7 was pretty typical what you'd expect. They have a lot of downtime, like say 3 seconds before they get to the next number. This did not. It went like when she hit 7, it was like 7, 8, 9, 10. It was like, what the fuck just happened? Why did she speed up? Like it was so noticeable because it was like you could see her counting before that. It was like 4. Come on, guys, get back in the ring. 5. Like, you know what I mean? It was so noticeably different how quick she went at the end. So they must have told her in her earset, go home, or something, because she sped the fuck up out of nowhere quick. And
they gave her the go ahead for sure.
Yeah, so that was kind of annoying. It was how noticeable that was, at least on TV. And then, so cool for Maxine. I like that for her. I just thought the noticeable fast counting sucked. That was so noticeable.
Yeah, it did.
But good match. Really fucking good match.
No, absolutely. Maxine, you can tell the training with Natalya has been paying off.
Big time. Yeah, the dungeon has been. I love that Natalya has done her own dungeon with TJ, and they're just bringing in whoever that they feel fit to come and train with them. Shit, there's so many people that outside, like Ricky Saints was training there before he was even signed to WWE, like when he was still under AEW contract. I think a few other AEW talent have been like seen in photos that they'll take with like all the people that train. So I love that Natty is like so passionate about wrestling that she'll just does this. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, trains whoever, doesn't matter.
So after that, we had Roman Reigns running into the Usos backstage. Jimmy Uso is upset about Bronson Reed talking about his uncles, Alpha and Sika. Jay says that they got this. He says that Roman tells Jay he needs to stay focused on his opportunities for his career. He asks who talks at the top of the hour, and they tell him CM Punk. Roman says that's and not you, and Jay's like looks at him like yeah, and just walks off all pissed. And then he turns to Jimmy and he tells him, "I hear and see everything. So what's the problem with Jay taking my advice?" So pretty intriguing shit with the bloodline right now.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get. I know Jay is going to eventually fill the role of either the bloodline tribal chief or if he's going to be right hand man. But he has to turn more heel. I think his first attack will be on Jimmy. That sounds crazy, but I feel like that's what's going to happen because later on backstage they had another little heated argument.
Yep. If I can find that, we'll talk about that real quick now. Okay, so oh no, that was when the thing in the ring happened. So Jay rants next to Roman about getting punched in the face earlier. We'll have to talk about that in a moment. But Jimmy rolls up and Jay asks why he was out there when he was trying to run the play, and now he's got a tag match and he's trying to protect CM Punk. But he better apologize or recognize what side he's on. Jim says that he's on Jay's side, and they both know it. So, Jimmy tells Roman that he's messing with Jay's mental. He needs to know that he's not like him, and Jay isn't anything like him. And Reigns says once he won that title, He's more like him than he is like you.
Yes.
So that was been that honestly, Raw, my favorite parts were a lot of the backstage stuff, because there's also a Seth segment we're gonna get to still too that was backstage. But yeah, a lot of the backstage stuff was my favorite parts of this week's Raw as well.
I agree. I think it done more building than the actual in-ring stuff this week.
Yeah, definitely. So okay, so after that first Roman stuff, the backstage stuff, we had Bailey walking up to Lyra, who was about to face Roxanne. Asks her if she wants to come by her side, and of course Lyra's hesitant but agrees. So it leads to an okay match. Nothing really stood out in this match. Kind of typical. It was interesting though. Bailey at one point wasn't helping Lyra because she was kind of being Hugger Bailey.
Yeah.
And Raquel was getting involved. Eventually though, she did. Or was it after? I always get mixed up.
I think it was after.
It was after. So Raquel got involved and Bailey didn't. Bailey didn't get involved until after. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they attacked Bailey and Lyra, which then led to the change in Bailey when she went back to, I guess, the Ding Dong or Damage Control Bailey, and she was like, "Come on, let's go get them."
Kick their ass. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, at least she didn't take it out on Lyra this time.
Yeah, true. And even Lyra seemed surprised by that because she picked her up and she could tell she was acting different. I was like, let's go backstage and kick their ass. And I was like, okay, let's go. Fuck yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
And then, okay, match. Roxanne got the win. Nothing really stood out in this at all, honestly. That's the end.
No. It was just another great match for the Judgment Day, the women's side at least.
Yeah. So after that, we get a video package between AJ and John, which just kind of recaps their history. Pretty good little video package. And then after that, we get AJ Styles interviewed, but he gets interrupted by Dominic, JD, and Finn. They start taunting him, talking about how he got out of the old folks' home and all that stuff. Talking shit about him, trying to think he's going to beat Cena. And then Finn brings up the fact that him and Dragon Lee apparently want to face the Judgment Day for the tag titles, which, hey, tag titles mentioned. Wow. They've only defended it once in their 100-day reign, second 100-day reign. So eventually, Styles says, "Oh, you guys think you're tough guys, 3-on-1, whatever." He goes, "How about me and Dragon Lee go find a partner and we'll 6-man tag it?" And Adam Pearce was like, "I'm down." So eventually they find Penta backstage, and they get him for the 6-man tag. But before that, even before that commercial, we get CM Punk shown walking backstage, and Rusev is arguing with Adam Pearce. That's all we kind of got. It was really quick.
Yeah, I think that was on the fact that Dom cheated in the Intercontinental match.
Oh, that's right.
And
yeah,
I think he feels robbed of the title.
So yeah, we don't have any details on what it was. We just saw him being very angry towards Pierce, who was looking to try to be like, "Hey man, what the fuck?" Like,
yeah, I will say Pierce has a rougher show on Mondays.
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Than what Aldis does.
So so Penta. So when they roll up on Penta and ask him to be part of the 6-man tag, he agrees because he's like, "Oh, you're going to be facing Dom for the IC title next Friday or whatever, or next Monday." And then Dragon Lee, of course, going for the mega title. He's like, "Let's team up and take them all down." So Penta agrees, but while that happens, that's when we hear a scuffle break out between Lyra and Bailey beating down the Judgment Day, Roxanne and Raquel. And that's when Pierce comes up and he's like, "Stop!" He's just like screaming at the top of his fucking lungs, like, "Stop it!" Ah! Like he's just going fucking crazy. His fucking veins are on his bald ass head, and he looks like he's about to pass out.
And the beatdown backstage was actually pretty intense for them.
It was,
and I think that's another big thing. Like we've talked about, what really keeps us interested. This Bailey storyline with them, what they're doing with her and her split personality, of course, but the aggression she's brought with it, and now it's carrying over into Lyra. It's just fantastic.
Oh yeah, 100% agree. So we get CM Punk after that. When we come back from break, he comes to the ring to talk about Seth Rollins. He sings "The Stars Are at Night Are Big and Bright" deep down in the heart of Texas for some reason. I mean, they were in Dallas, but he had to do that for some reason. Talks about Cody versus Seth and stuff like that, and just why he doesn't really care about it, or basically. So he's been celebrating with AJ beating Becky and Seth. He said he started out the year beating Seth on Netflix, and he's gonna end it beating Seth on Netflix. Talks just about the world title and stuff like that. LA Knight interrupts, says that he wants the world title, which eventually brings Jay out saying he wants the world title. Then it leads to big old dramatic issues with LA and Jay. And then Jimmy comes out, and then Jimmy's like stopping them from fighting. And then eventually, I think it's LA moves Jimmy, and he clocks Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay goes down, and then Jimmy's mad that he moved him out of the way because he was trying to keep the peace. So then he kicks LA.
Yep.
And then I forget exactly what happens there, but eventually CM Punk gets on the mic, and he's like, because I think either LA like leaves or something happens. He just says that we're cool, right? We're cool. That's just between you two or whatever. But eventually Jay grabs him, and Jay gets in between them. And Jay tries to throw a super kick. Jimmy blocks, but CM Punk's... Oh, no. So CM Punk... No, I got that backwards. CM Punk moves Jimmy. It wasn't LA. CM Punk moves Jimmy and clocks Jay. And then Jimmy kicks Punk. So I got that backwards. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. That right hand from Punk to Jay. Well, the way it sounded, it was a rough right hand.
Yeah.
I think
definitely.
he caught more of the glasses though.
Maybe. Yeah. But that's what led up to the Usos versus LA and Punk main event. That's how that match got set up. I mean, honestly, I kind of a forgettable promo. It was just kind of. I feel like they're coasting when it comes to the main event because they have Crown Jewel going. Yeah, they have to coast right now. They have their world titles stuck in these Crown Jewel matches.
Yeah. We're gonna get another Fatal 4-Way, I think. And I think the next pay-per-view is War Games. If they're not Saturday Night Main Event beforehand.
Yeah, we got Saturday Night Main Event beginning of November.
So I think we're gonna get another Fatal 4-Way.
I could see them doing a triple threat number one contendership actually, and then. But I think you're right. I think they'll probably do a Fatal 4-Way.
And I think it's not gonna end. It's gonna end with all the Bronson. The Vision will help Seth win, and that'll just set up War Games. We won't get a definite winner again, so Seth will still win that way.
I can see that because there'll be no DQ. So
you got LA's Punk and Jay,
yeah,
and Jimmy, and then probably Roman.
Well, and then you got the Bronze getting involved because it's going to be a Fatal 4. If it's a Fatal 4-Way, no DQ, so everyone can get involved.
Yeah. And then you got, on the other side, you got Seth, the two Bronze, and you still need two other people. But either way, yeah, I mean, that's where I think they're going with it.
After that, we had EO vignette just talking about how Asuka broke her heart. They're no longer family, and she knows who her family is now, and that she's going to beat her with Rhea at Crown Jewel. And then it eventually led into the EO and Kaidi match, where EO immediately jumped Asuka before the bell even rang.
Yeah.
But Kaidi saved her, which led to the match fully taken off because Kaidi didn't seem like she wanted to do it up until that point. But a fired up match. So this is our third women match. I mean, all of our matches have been women's matches so far. Very good match. Kaidi gets the win because of Asuka, of course, getting involved, causing a distraction and stuff, and eventually holding Kaidi's feet. Kaidi put her feet on the ropes, and then Asuka held him down. So defeating EO. And Asuka held up EO, hit her with the spinning back fist, hit her with the insane elbow. Of course, Rhea's in Australia, so she's not here to save her, so it's just a complete beat down on EO.
Yeah, last week I said that I thought EO was going to rejoin. And after this week, it's not going to happen. It's not. But I don't feel like the Kabuki Warriors at this moment are going to beat EO and Rhea.
And especially in Australia.
No, but either way, this is the best story, one of the better stories going.
For sure. Now. Yeah, I would agree. More interesting for sure.
It's just going to be it will be interesting to see how they continue to play about it.
After that, we have Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman are backstage. Becky's just rambling. She's pissed about losing to Maxine via countout. And she's just rambling about her loss. Seth is just staring at his watch the whole time. She says she needs to tell Adam Pearce that she needs time off, and so she storms off. And that's when Rollins says, "Paul, we need to talk." And Paul's like, "Yes, sir." And that's when he tells him what happened. Says he has to win on Saturday, and Heyman's like, "You're going to." He's like trying to hype him up. And he says, "But what if he doesn't?" Paul Heyman acts like he didn't understand, and then says that he will beat Cody. It's an impossibility that he'll lose. Rollins like, "No, you're not listening to me. What happens if I lose to Cody Rhodes?" Paul asks if he wants it straight. And Seth says yes. He says, well, if he loses to Cody, he loses the locker room and he loses the faith of the Vision. He throws away everything they've built up, and that he throws away the entire Netflix era being built around him. And then that will cement himself as a wannabe second-class champion. And Paul says that he would have to question why he chose him over Roman.
Yep.
Fucking epic. I loved this segment, the way Paul said this to him. He goes to walk away. Seth grabs his wrist and says, but he can't help but notice he left himself out of that equation. And that's when Paul said that, excuse me. So Seth just sits there and stares off into the distance. So this has obviously been building up with the whole Cody stuff going on, where Cody got into his head and just made Seth start questioning everything.
Yeah, and, you know, like you said, it goes back to, was you the one that gave Paul the permission to introduce Brock? Was you the one that gave him the permission to come to SmackDown? Did you do this? Or are they just doing it? And then this also goes back to Friday. Where Paul has no control over this group. If he does, it's the Bronze. Yeah. If anything, it's the Bronze. Because they see what the Vision's going to be. And I really think it's going to, if it happens, it'll probably shock a lot of people. But I think they turn on Seth.
Damn. I think you're right, though. You know, because I didn't really think about it too much, but now that you say that, I think you're right. But when? Is it going to happen before the end of the year, or do you think it'll go into next year's Mania when that happens? Like a year to when they kind of started?
It'll go into probably Mania, because I don't have him losing to Cody.
Yeah, time. I think Paul, after the whole conversation that they just had here that we just talked about, I think Paul's going to ensure that the Bronze are involved in that.
Yeah. You know, he's always made sure it's went the way it has to. Even if the Bronze are not involved, we see someone else get involved. And then towards Mania, we get the same kick out segment that we got for Edge and the Judgment Day.
I could see that, actually. That would make sense.
We see the Vision, Seth, but the Vision's no longer with you. We are the Vision. And whoever the new guy is, or they don't even have to have a new guy. Breaker just hits him with a spear.
They could even send Becky out there for to hit a low blow or something.
Oh, good gosh, that would be crazy. But yeah, have Becky be the one that turns.
Oh no, I mean to help Seth. I'm sorry, that's what I meant.
To help Seth. Okay,
I'm sorry,
but that makes sense. But yeah, I think they turn on him the same way they did with Judgment Day style. I just don't think. I don't think him being in the group is really benefiting the Bronze currently. Now they can change that within a week or two.
It's benefiting the Bronze as their main event players right now.
Yeah, but I mean they had that capability to be main event people.
I know, but this thrusted him directly into the main event scene.
Yeah,
this was the quickest way to put him there, and Hunter pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, but only way they don't leave and don't do the turn on him is if they're the ones that take the title off the Judgment Day.
Yeah, they need to. So after that was that Roman backstage segment where Roman told him to stay out of Jay's way. That could be the best way of helping him. We kind of already talked about that. So we go right into the 6-man tag: AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta versus the Judgment Day. Pretty typical match, except with the Judgment Day losing.
Yeah, we've seen the Penta dance in the middle of the ring by all three. What I was really interested in this was there was no El Grande Americanos.
But there was a Rusev.
There was a Rusev, yeah. There
Rusev
was
came
a
out
Rusev.
at the end of the match. Obviously, we saw him yelling at Pierce earlier on. Dom Mysterio sees Rusev, grabs his titles, tries to run away. Rusev gets his hands on him. But Penta takes out Rusev with a super kick. He went to super kick Dom, but Dom moved out of the way, and he kicked Rusev instead. Eventually, McDonough slingshot sunset flip as Dom runs away. AJ Styles grabs him, hits the Styles Clash. It gets the win. Afterwards, Styles gets in the mic, talks about his match against John Cena at Crown Jewel, says that they don't need a story, it writes itself, and that you'll get these two their last dance, get their last dance against each other, and then he's gonna leave it on the ring.
Yeah.
So
A lot
awesome
of
match.
people were like, is this AJ's last match? No, it's not AJ's last match. But he has stated he is close to the end of his.
Yeah, and it's his last match against Cena. So
yeah. But the match was great, but AJ's right that this doesn't need a story, and there's been people that's complained about that.
yeah,
You know, Brock's match didn't have a story. He just came out and gave him the F5. And now here we are, AJ and Cena. There's
just
no
the story
here.
of John on his final hurrah against AJ, who has him beaten 2-1 right now.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
I'm
These
fine
two's
with it.
career has written the story.
Exactly. But a fun 6-man tag. Obviously, might be setting up Penta versus Rusev again in the future. Maybe Rusev gets involved next Monday or this coming Monday. In the IC title match against Penta. That's my guess, is what that's setting up since Penta hit him. So,
yeah, it will be. Was this the one where we had no? Because this episode didn't have a lot of the commercial break interviews either.
I did not use my VPN this Monday because I was having internet issues, so I have no idea.
Oh, well, at least for me, there was no. They actually had commercials.
Yeah,
in the VPNs this time.
weird. That shouldn't happen.
Yep. SmackDown did too.
Well, SmackDown always does, but Raw was the only one that they were gonna have like the stuff in between. The Raw was like the only one because it was America. But yeah. So fun 6-man tag, nothing crazy from it except for the interview afterwards.
Yeah.
We see LA Knight backstage warming up for his match. CM Punk rolls up. Punk says neither of them want this match, and Knight says that it's fine, but they got to do it. He just says all he says is don't get pinned. And then we get to the main event: the Usos versus CM Punk, LA Knight. Again, nothing crazy here, nothing insane, pretty forgettable in my opinion. The only thing that really stood out was, again, we have another put together tag team defeating one of the greatest tag teams of all time, which is hysterical to me. But obviously the story right now is the Usos are not on the same page. But we do see CM Punk hit the go to sleep, but LA Knight tags himself in and pins, I believe it was Jay, for getting the win, and then they stare each other down while the Usos kind of recover. And that was it. That was really it for Raw. Kind of pretty forgettable for a go-home show.
Yeah. I don't know. I just the main event, it didn't have the Vision in it.
Thankfully.
That was a positive thing, something different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Everything feels so uninspired right now.
I think it has a lot to do with Crown Jewel, and I don't mean nothing bad about Crown Jewel, but with that title, the Crown Jewel title, this huge title that we only see at Crown Jewel, the big diamond ring, you know, they focus too hard on that right now.
I agree. So yeah, Ride gave it probably a 3 out of 5 as well, and I think I'm being generous on that one too.
Yeah, I agree with you. What's up, Scott? What's up, Walowski? Hope you had fantastic Thursdays.
So NXT. So we had NXT and AW on the same day. I feel let's talk about NXT first because I feel like we'll breeze through that one a lot quicker because I was more focused on AEW. But for what I did see, I mean, I saw basically everything. I feel like I missed a few interviews and whatnot, or like backstage segments, but and like entrances I missed. But they started out the show with the Hardys versus Dark State for both TNA and NXT tag titles.
Yes.
I only caught maybe the last 5-ish minutes of the match, maybe less. They had the Dudley Boys ringside. Of course, they faced the Dudley Boys at Bound for Glory. And what now is going to be a double title match because the Hardys did win the NXT tag titles over Dark State. I don't have much to say about this match again because I just was more focused on AEW until the end of this match. But yeah, Hardys, what do you think about them winning the NXT tag titles?
I think it's great. I think it's a way to get them back into WWE other than just a TNA partnership. But this match, Dark State did not help the Hardys.
Really?
And when I say that, it's supposed to be in-ring chemistry most of the time. It was not there. There was one point that Osiris almost drops Matt Hardy into the turnbuckle on the back of his head. And you see Matt pull Osiris by his braid, kind of just pulls him back up. Just hey, we got to stand back up some.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. And I was like, oh my God. Because I remember I saw that and I told my chat, I was like, oh my God, that was a botch. He had to like pull him by his hair to keep his balance on him. That was crazy.
His head would have hit, like it would have been incidental, but it would have been
I do remember that now, yeah.
Like a head spot. But the match the ending was great. We've seen, the whisper in the wind, the hot tag, the twist of fate, side effect, all typical Hardy fashion.
Yeah.
I was honestly I was surprised they won.
I figured they would. I figured they'd be the first ones to get the TNA, the NXT gold.
But you just put it on Dark State and you built Dark State to be this huge group. Unless
Did they? I never got that feeling that they were built to be a big group.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to be Shield 2.0.
Were they? I never got that vibe. I forgot about them. I forgot about them 2 weeks after they debuted. That's because the booking. What were they doing the whole time? They would just cut promos backstage. Oh, we're here to wreck shit. We're here to make our own fucking destiny and give our own make our own shit happen on our time. And then they would disappear and then they would lose to everyone. What do you mean they were built up to be Shield 2.0? They weren't built up to shit. They lost all the time until they finally won the tag titles. Classic WWE booking. Lose, title match.
Well, maybe they introduced them to be like the Shield. Because they even went to TNA and was taking out people. That's how I
Were they? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they took out Matt Cardona.
I heard about
TNA.
That. Yeah, but then they lost the next fucking week.
They did. Yeah.
They weren't built up to do shit. It was classic Vince McMahon WWE style booking. Like the way I look at it is like how the way people would win Money in the Bank in the past. It was always the person that you typically least expected for a minute because they would be losing and losing and losing. Nikki ASH, fucking Liv Morgan. They were always in a state where like they were not doing a whole lot, and then boom, Money in the Bank. So that's how I felt with Dark State and the NXT tag titles. Losing. Won a title opportunity, won the titles. It was just like, hey, you guys, we don't have a tag division. Let's put them. Nothing against their in-ring work. I couldn't do what they do any day of the week. I'm just saying they're not memorable. Nothing WWE has done, nor anything they've done in-ring has been memorable for me. And I forget about them all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess. I felt like the way they were presented was kind of supposed to be like that.
I didn't get any of that from them at all. I at first, I was like, oh, cool, a faction here to cause up shit. And then they just felt like they were just doing backstage segments immediately after. I was like, oh, okay.
Kind of like Ali and his group that showed up.
Sure. I mean, what was that? Yeah, I don't even remember the name of that one, but yeah, I do remember that faction. But yeah, no, I don't care for Dark. The only one that I think is good out of there is Saquon Sugars.
Oh yeah, Saquon Sugars for sure. And
Dark State, I wouldn't care if they were a tag team today, tomorrow, or if they got disbanded. I wouldn't have an opinion on it. Besides, hopefully they do good solo.
Okay. Well, I
'Cause
mean,
they
Dion
suck as a
was
group.
solo.
The only thing that have made them stand out lately was their backstage promos with what's his name doing the fucking sus ass shit or whatever the
Cutler,
fuck he was doing.
yeah, Cutler. He says, and they've gotten to where they
That's their
made it a
most
point.
memorable, besides probably being the tag champs, even though it was a forgettable run. That was probably their most memorable thing about them is the backstage promos with Cutler.
Yeah, he does say some wild stuff.
Yeah, no, I do not care for Dark State one bit. So Hardy's finally get NXT gold for TNA. They go up to the we see the Dudleys and then Carlos Silva. Of course, they're placing the Dudleys this Sunday. So we get immediately after we just jump straight into Team TNA women's versus Team NXT. Jordan Grace, special guest ref. She has her muscles out, of course. But this match was interesting to see who got eliminated first. So Jada Parker was the first elimination by Amara Sade, the former Jakara Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
So Jada eliminated first, but immediately after she gets hit with a soul snatcher and she's eliminated, like not even 8 seconds later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you brought it up last week, maybe that majority of Team TNA was NXT
It is. There was not
or former
one.
WWE.
You could have used Rosemary. You could have used Tasha Stills. You could have used fucking Danny Luna, Jody Threat, someone that hasn't been a former WWE talent. They're all either Kalani, who was the current TNA Knockout champion, who's current NXT talent. And then the three others were the Iconics, former NXT talent and WWE talent. And then you had fucking Mara Sade, who literally just signed to TNA like a month ago from NXT. Yes. She literally got released from NXT. So it's like, it reminds me of when they would do the draft, and then immediately after the draft would be Survivor Series, and they were doing the brand versus brand split. Shit. So it would literally go like 4 of the 5 people on this show were literally just on the other show, but now they're competing for the other brand. It's like, how does that make any sense? They've only been on the show for a month, and now they're competing for that company for the brand versus brand. When we just watched him as like, I hated that. That's what made me hate the brand versus brand, like the Survivor Series brand versus brand the most. Like we just had the draft. Half of that team was on the other team just a month ago. This is stupid.
That does make sense.
So I hated this for the NXT shit.
Yeah, I was surprised Jada Parker was first eliminated. I figured she would be closer to, if not the sole survivor, if they went that far with the match. Because I feel like they've given her a good push on NXT. But then, like you said, they had Sade eliminator, which was kind of odd, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just trying to read this.
No. After that, though, I switched. I seen that elimination. I seen the Soul Snatcher, and I think I switched over to
EW.
Yeah, because it hit a commercial break.
Yeah, so I luckily have multiple monitors, so I had them both up, so I could just unmute whatever one I wanted to. So immediately after that commercial, after that, this says Mara Sade was eliminated by Lola, but I believe that was Cassie Lee was eliminated by Lola, and then Jessie McKay was also eliminated by Lola via submission, which made it 2-on-1 with Lola and JC. Oh, that's right. Soul. Yeah, so Soul eliminated. So this thing's all confused. This says Mara Sade eliminated by pinfall by Lola Vice. But Mara already got eliminated by the Soul.
Yeah. So mine, it says Sade was in celebration. Ruka hit the Soul Snatcher. Ruka eliminated Sade.
And then it's Cassie Still who gets eliminated by Lola, but this says Mara Sade. But then so then Jessie McKay gets eliminated, but then Lola is eliminated by Kalani with an Olympic Slam. Now it's only down to Kalani versus Soul and JC. Eventually, JC and Soul end up working together, and they pin Kalani after a few moves, and Team NXT wins. Also during this, when Lola Vice got eliminated, the ring announcer was TNA's Mackenzie Mitchell. And so when Lola got eliminated, she goes, and the winners are Team N eliminated or Lola Vice is eliminated. And then she corrects herself. And then everyone's like, did
Mhm.
she just spoil that Team NXT is going to win? It was kind of obvious, 2v1 at that point. But
Yeah.
I was like, everyone was like in my chat was like, ooh, she just spoiled who wins, didn't she? And then sure enough, like 3 minutes later, Team NXT wins. So ouch for Mackenzie Mitchell, also former WWE backstage interviewer. Which is ironic that she was the ring announcer for that one. But okay match. Again, wasn't super invested into it, but Team NXT with the win. I don't know. Nothing really too much for me on that one because I felt like I wasn't super focused into it.
Yeah, so I seen the ending of this. And I think this is where, we were talking about the teams were more former WWE or current NXT for TNA. It just seemed like a normal NXT match.
Mm.
Like the 450 was reversed very cleanly, like we've seen happen before.
Yep.
Soul got the Soul Snatcher, and then of course, like you said, JC Jane tags in for the pin. Um, I don't know. I felt the match was good. Everyone
All
in it.
right.
I felt like it was kind of off.
Didn't feel like TNA versus NXT.
No, if you would have had one of the inspiration be the final one in there, and then eliminated Lola, or then came down to maybe Soruka or JC Jane, that would have made it feel more like TNA versus NXT.
Not to me, but I see why you'd say that.
So
You would need
but
Rosemary or someone actually in that bitch. Jessica Havoc,
yeah.
something.
So on TNA original.
Tasha Still, something. Yeah. So okay match. It wasn't bad, but yeah. So after this, we are backstage with Ava talking to Matt Cardona, and he apologizes for getting involved the week prior, but says, and she goes, "Yes, I know you're the king of self promotion." He wants on Team TNA, but Josh Briggs comes in and demands a match with him after what happened last week. And she says, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll go talk with Santino and talk to him and get it worked out." And then he leaves, and she's like, "You come out now, Matt." And he's like, "Sweet, thanks for the opportunity." He's all excited. He gets a match on NXT. So him versus Josh Briggs next week. That's his first match in WWE since he got released. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it is. The Indie God is back in WWE technically. So
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if he does, because he was still doing some AEW stuff there for a while.
Watch Mojo Riley come out in costume next week. I'm just kidding. Hype bros, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Because I was thinking of when he was in NXT previously. It was with Mojo doing the hype bro stick.
It was.
And apparently he didn't even want to be part of that tag team, but he did it because that's what they gave him.
I mean, it carried him to the main roster. Or it didn't carry him to the main roster,
well,
but
back
made
up
it to
to,
the main roster.
yeah, because he wasn't doing anything at that point besides doing that. So that'll be interesting. Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali. This was the match of the night for NXT.
It was.
Ali got his initial. Same with the Iconics. I forgot to say the inspiration came out to their Iconics theme, then it went into their. No, it stayed on their theme because then I think Kalani immediately came out. But so they got their original theme. Then Ali came out to his NXT or WWE theme, but then it like went into his TNA presidential theme, which was pretty cool. But this match was fucking cool. Like they fucking killed each other. The ending was really dope. I really enjoyed the ending to this match. Not only were they going balls to the wall, hitting all the moves that you could think of. Ali hits a dive to Page, and they go on to the commentary. Once they get up, Ali throws in Ethan to go hit up his top rope move, but he has the commentary, like Booker's headset cable, stuck around his leg. And he goes onto the apron and he starts to climb, and that's when he like realizes, oh shit, that's on my foot. So he's like on this, like he like is kind of on the top rope, like vaguely, and he's like trying to get the cable off, and Ethan knocks him down, gets him in the ring, hits his finisher, 1, 2, 3, retains. I thought that was so unique how they did that with the cable.
Yeah. The whole match though, even like the ending was great.
The whole match was great, yeah.
Ali had several moments in this match where I honestly thought that they were going to put the title on him.
Yeah, he hits a tornado DDT for a no fall, then he hits the 450, but he goes for the 450, misses, rolls through. Only to hit a sunset flip later with a Rana reversal into the Eagle's Edge. Like, dude, they were just going crazy. This match was insane.
It was a great match. It's outside of the Hardys, it stole the show. Like,
oh, this was miles above the Hardys match. in
Yeah,
my opinion.
but and they did the build up like this was his. He finally gets his match. He didn't get it because he was released,
Yeah.
and he showed 100% why he should have gotten this match.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fucking good. Ethan retains. But afterwards they kind of killed the mood, I feel like. They brought he did Dr. Wagner Jr. He was being interviewed immediately after. They had Alexis King roll up saying that he was Tavion Heights. And yeah, so Dr. Wagner Jr. just walks away, which I would have too. And then Tavion walks up and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" It was a comedy, but it was like, really? After that? Like, it immediately went right into that after that. But yeah, no, great match. Weird thing. It set up, basically, they're setting up Ethan Page versus Dr. Wagner Jr. here, or the third, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. Anything to add on to all that?
Lexus King might be the only one that's came over from AEW to NXT that has not done anything, in my opinion. I mean, he got the Heritage Cup, but like outside of that, all the other ones that's came over, they've been pushed to a title right away. So why are we having Lexus still be a gimmick backstage?
Because he's not ready for a title.
You don't think he is?
No, he's forgettable. I did not give 1 ounce of care about that Miles Bourne feud.
No, Miles carried that feud.
Didn't care about it either way. I just wasn't into it. I just couldn't get invested. I didn't care for Brian Pillman Jr. in AEW character wise. I cheered for him, but I never was like a fucking fan. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, he's cool. He's a good wrestler, but it was like that was it. You know what I mean? And I'm the same now. Like, he's good. Like, he could talk. He can have interesting promos. It's I guess for me, it's another one of those cases of, and then the bell rings, and I just forget. Like, and there's just those wrestlers for me who are not bad. They're great workers. Like, they just don't have like anything that stands out in the ring to me.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
But he's not bad. I can't get into him.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the way they were building him up when he first showed up, didn't want to be in his, known by his past or his family, anything like that. I felt like he was going to get a push.
Yeah,
but now we're
he kind of did.
A year and a half, 2 years, and nothing.
Same with Sean Spears, though. I mean, just has a faction, but I feel like that's what Sean Spears is there to do, though. He's not younger.
They also gave him the North American.
I forgot about that. Dude, there's reigns that I forget about, and that's one of them. That Shinsuke US title reign is one I forget about here and there.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm sure I'll add a few more reigns like Julia's reign and Zelina's, and yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do with this, but it's obviously leading to him and Tavion. So we had backstage Soruka and I believe it was Zarya, or no, it was JC. They were backstage, and then Lola Vice and Jada Parker peace out when Zarya shows up. Sol and her partner clearly they have issues still about not being on the squad, but she still has her friends back when Madison. Why does it say Madison Blake? Blake Monroe. Why does this say Madison Blake? What the fuck? She shows up talking about the women's North American title. So they're setting up her and Soruka fucking finally doing something with that women's North American title.
Yeah. I think the big key in that was Monroe being like, she said, she said, Zarya, you'll never be able to get what you want as long as Soruka keeps using you.
That's right.
So Blake is planting the seeds.
I think she'll win it. If she doesn't win it, it'll be Zarya.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we just go right into Team TNA men's versus Team NXT, which was a solid match. Joe Henry, special guest ref, and I will commend Joe Henry. I forgot halfway, even while I was watching, that he was the ref in this match until I saw him counting a pin. I was like, oh yeah, he did a really good job about being invisible out there.
Yeah. He did not make the match about himself, I guess. and
So did
he
Jordan.
was, yeah, she did. But he, I guess they both called it right down the middle. But I was expecting one of them to kind of be more towards either NXT or TNA, and
I
it
did
did
too.
not happen.
I did too, but I was glad that they were impartial in the end.
Yeah,
So the men's was pretty solid too. It had really good action in it. It was cool to see a lot of the matchups play out, but Miles Bourne was eliminated immediately, like
Kazarian.
minutes.
Yeah, he hit it. What he hit him with like a leg drop while he was in the middle of the middle rope, like draped
It
over
was
the
like a
middle rope. I
hanging
think.
cutter type of thing.
Yeah, something.
But yeah,
But
so
yeah,
and then Book even on commentary is like, well, gotta get rid of the weak link or whatever, and I was like, damn.
yeah. I
But yeah, so Rip Miles Bourne.
yeah, it was a slingshot cutter. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. Um, but yeah, so he's the first eliminated, basically within 2 or 3 minutes of the match kicking off.
It
Um,
was quick.
so TNA is up 5-4, and then the match goes on for quite a bit of time, for I'd say about a good 7-8 minutes. And then eventually Leon Slater is in there with Javon Evans. We're getting kind of a preview here and there of their match for Saturday or Sunday.
Mhm.
A few things happen, a few people come in and out in tags, but this ends up leading to Leon Slater eliminating Javon Evans, which was
Yeah,
crazy.
I thought Evans would get the win here and Slater would get the win Sunday.
I'm starting to think because of this, wrestling math means Javon Evans wins the X Division title on Sunday.
Wrestling math, yes. That would be, and that'd be great for Evans. It'd be his first title. Yes, it's TNA, and they're losing another title, but I'm telling you, I think Evans he's gonna get a faster title shots than what a lot of people are expecting.
I think he's on his way to the SmackDown after what they did on Friday.
Yeah, if he doesn't win, yes. If he does win, then he stays for at least another 6 months.
Could you imagine if he does win but goes up to SmackDown and has the Activision title on SmackDown?
Yeah,
That'd be
and that
epic.
brings TNA to the main roster
That'd be epic
for
as
even
fuck.
bigger showdown.
Sets up AJ and TNA. I mean, you still could do that without that, but
Yeah, that's true too.
so Javon's second eliminated, so it's 5v3. Team TNA, Team NXT down to 3 people: Trick, Ricky, and who am I missing here? Trick, Ricky, and oh no, it's 4v4. I'm sorry, 4v2. I'm sorry, I said 5v
Yeah,
5v3. I was thinking 5v5 because a lot of the Survivor Series matches are 5v5. So it
yeah.
was down to
This is
4v2. Excuse me.
yes. So this would leave Trick and Saints then.
Yeah, Trick and Saints versus all 4 members of Team TNA: Slater, Moose, Kazarian, and um, Mike Santana.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And
after that, we do see Ricky Saints come in, and he gets the elimination on Kazarian, making it 2v3. Then eventually he oh no, I think before he eliminates Kazarian, Trick he goes to tag in Trick Saints, and Trick jumps off the apron and stares him down and leaves Ricky.
yeah, this was the turn. Yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so that was before any eliminations from Team NXT side took place. So that was right after the Javon Evans, basically like maybe 3-4 minutes after the Javon Evans elimination. And then so that leads to Saints just kicking it into fucking overdrive, eliminates Frankie Kazarian, and then he eventually eliminates Leon Slater, making it Moose and Mike Santana versus Ricky. But eventually Santana and Moose are just too much for Ricky to handle, and Santana pins Ricky Saints, which is pretty crazy. I know it's not in title or anything, but one's got to wonder if that will lead to anything. I know Santana has his title match this Sunday, so but it is curious because he pinned the NXT champion.
Yeah. Would that mean, Trick's gonna retain, and then Santana's like, you know what? I beat you. And so the next NXT pay per view, Halloween Havoc, I want a title shot.
I kind of think not. I think Santana ends up winning the title from TNA this Sunday. I think he beats Trick Williams. I think Trick's probably going to the main roster really soon, so I don't think they'll continue much with him and Santana after this. And then I think Santana ain't gonna be going for that next title. I think they're just gonna keep it as like, because it was him and Moose like that kind of like worked together to get that pin over Saints. Anyways, it was like Moose was in, and then he tagged in Santana, and then Santana came and hit a few moves and got the pin.
That's true, because I think it was like a super kick, not Rochambeau. That's spin the block, and then maybe a spear, or maybe spear to, or maybe
Yeah,
Moose
but
spear
either
to,
way,
and
they
it was,
got it was Santana with them, but I don't think they will. It's curious though. One has to wonder if they will, since he pinned Saints, who's current champion, especially because he just won it, like literally won it like 2 weeks prior to this. Now he just got pinned by Mike Santana. But that was way better than the women's one, just based because it was literal TNA NXT, so that was really cool. And then of course the show ended with Ava and Santino kind of like congratulating each other on the show. And then Ava's like, hey, I have a women's battle royal next week. I want some TNA women involved. And Santino's like, I got you. And so that's how the show ended. There is spoilers out there for next week's NXT. I've luckily avoided them because it was taped. Yep, they taped it immediately after.
Okay.
So just heads up. Try to avoid spoilers if you're listening in. If you want to avoid spoilers, keep an eye out. It's gonna be hard to, but keep an eye out. Yeah, so solid NXT. But I felt like I was still more into AEW, even though I did pay attention to a lot of the matches on NXT. But yeah, let's just jump right into AEW. I think I have the wrong thing pulled up. I do. I did that one like last week too. God damn it.
Yeah, so I think AEW started with the Hangman Samoa Joe.
Yes.
Tony Schiavone introduced them both to the ring.
Yes. So yeah, Schiavone was in the ring to start off AEW, called out Hangman and Joe, and they proceeded to have a face-to-face that was great, not just because it led to like an altercation. It was just literally them promoting each other, and that was it. It was fucking incredible. Yeah, they went in on each other. It was like a good 12-minute face-to-face too. Like they went back and forth. Like it wasn't just like, oh, one guy said one thing, one guy said the other. That was it. Like they would rebuttal. Like it was legit badass. But Samoa Joe, basically his thing was that the Hangman Page, when he sees him, that he doesn't see the pinnacle of professional wrestling. He sees a pretender. He says the ops made him champion, and if they hadn't had his back, he wouldn't be the man in AEW right now. Said he's surprised he didn't do this sooner because he got so caught up with the Death Riders, he forgot that the prime target is the man who calls himself the champion, and Page is no champion. So that was pretty brutal. I was like, damn.
Yeah, Joe is saying what a lot of people have been saying. At least what I read is that Hangman isn't a real champion. But yet again, that's kind of what the Death Riders were saying, right?
Yeah. He needed, but that was the Death Riders play. That Mox was only winning because he got help.
Yeah, and so this
for the
is
most part.
Hangman. Yeah, Hangman only won because he had help, technically. But you put it in a Texas death match, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I like the part where Joe was basically talking like he said he's going to choke Page out and take the title, and that's all that's gonna be. And so I mean,
that's right.
They had a back and forth that was great throughout this, but the build's great in my opinion. I think they had, wasn't it Revolution 24? Wasn't it a triple threat? Hangman, Swerve, and Joe. Joe was champ at that point.
I think so.
So they already have history.
Yeah.
In a match. So I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, so they had a really good back and forth, and the passion was there in both of their promos. Both men clicked in this, and hate to say that I won't be able to watch it live because of the wedding I'm going to, but man, I'm sure it's gonna be a fucking fantastic match. Yeah, great opening way, and it was going head to head with the Hardys, so it actually kept my attention, even though the Hardys were having a match.
Yeah, I didn't step away from the Hardys to see this promo, I knew it was gonna be good, but I went back and listened to it.
I only caught the end of the Hardys promo because I was paying more attention to this, or the Hardys match. I mean, I had them both up, but my focus was on Samoa Joe and Hangman. After that, we had a conglomeration interview from earlier in the day with Mark Briscoe talking about everyone's match for the night. Of course, we had Kyle versus Kyle, so we hyped up Kyle, saying Kyle was going to be Kyle, which was hilarious because he wasn't saying like full names, so he was just doing what we do. Then O'Reilly says he despises the men named Kyle, and the Briscoes talk up, and then Mark Briscoe talks up Pac versus Orange Cassidy, and then Tomohiro Ishii versus Moxley. Everyone put their hands in the little huddle, but Roddy, of course, who's still not part of the conglomeration. And then Cassidy just stays with Alicia. She's like, warm out today. And she's like, it is. Or something like that.
Cassidy he still doesn't care. He's
just
laid
whatever.
back. Does not care.
And after that, we go into Moxley and Tomohiro Ishii. I was a little out of this one since I was paying attention a lot to the women's TNA NXT match here. So I didn't really focus a lot, but I did see that Ishii had a bloody nose at one point. I think it was a bloody nose. He was bleeding at one point.
Yeah, he had busted his nose. They said it might have been broken, is what Taz said.
Wow. So it was just a what you expect, what we've seen in the past with Ishii and Mox.
Yes.
But of course, Marina did get involved, gouging Ishii's eyes when John was distracting the ref. So there was outside interference. Of course, in the end, submission victory for Moxley. So I didn't really have my focus fully on this match, so I didn't see a lot of it.
Yeah, it was your typical match with these two.
Yeah,
strong hits, and I think that was something that Moxley really took into consideration. Well, even when he fought Ishii the first two times we've seen him, it was more of the strong style, and I think is what it's called, where they just lay into each other.
Oh yeah, elbows, fucking slap, chops, all that.
But I mean, it took a stomp, a paradigm shift, and a rear naked choke, which is the bulldog choke, to put Ishii away. But he couldn't breathe technically if his nose was broken. So I mean, I can understand typing as quick as he did, but Ishii is a fighter.
Oh yeah,
and I think he's still a champion in New Japan too.
I'm not sure. I haven't really been keeping up on everything else besides I know the G1, not the G1, but Takeshita versus Saber is I believe Monday or Sunday night. We're going into Monday for us.
Yeah, Sunday night. Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't know. So, but yeah, so I don't really have much to say about the match because I didn't really see a whole lot of it. But after that, we had Renee Paquette. She was backstage. I did see this because I was curious what was happening. So I looked up and I was like, oh, Bucks. And so she goes up to the Bucks, who are banging on Tony Khan's door, demanding for a money match. Because of course, last week we saw Nick lost the money. Matt says that they've got front row seats to see Jurassic Express's match. So that means AW's tickets are pretty affordable if they could afford them. And Nick just says, asks him how they paid for it. Matt says some old sneakers, and Nick goes back to banging on Tony's door. So they have a lot of sneakers they could sell. So you had to go and get rid of some sneakers to get their tickets.
Yeah. Still, what they're doing with the Bucks has been great. I'm hoping they continue to push the other tag teams like they have been to give them opportunities. But this stuff with the broke, begging for matches, having to sit in the crowd, it's fantastic. I like
so
that
good.
they're so okay with it as well.
Yes, it's so funny. They like to make fun of themselves. It's obvious.
Yes.
So we had a video package after that of kind of breaking down Toni Storm's championship history, her losing to Stat, and then kind of just a recap of Triangle Madness beating them down on Collision from Saturday. I didn't really pay attention to it, but it's on the notes here, so I thought I'd bring it up. But after that, we jump right into the street fight, the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate. Holy fuck, did they beat the shit out of each other?
Yes, they did.
Lots of table spots. There was like 3 table spots, I believe.
I mean, there was a table that was made of concrete that wouldn't break at one point.
Yeah, the eye on the table. I was kind of like going back and forth because I think there was I don't know if it was still the women's or whatever was happening at that point on NXT. I remember I was going back and forth though, because I remember one of the reactions I reposted. Someone's like, "Damn, you're dedicated. You're talking about whatever when you were watching whatever," in one of them. But But yeah, this match was insane. There was like a spear through the table on the outside, like they have the way they have the stage, like with the fans, so they like the higher, like almost like a concert stage. They had the table against that they went through. I think it was Toa who got speared through that, I believe. And then oh, they also threw a chair at Bobby's head, which was nasty in the ring when Lashley was charging for a spear through a table. That's what broke up that spear. Oh, and then then Toa slammed Bobby through that table after that. And then he sets him up on another table and hits the diving elbow from Khan. And then MVP's battling with Toa. There's just so much. There's so much happened in this match. Like they were battling on the stage or they're battling in the ring. Like there was just so much going on. Yeah, I don't know. Anything you want to add that I haven't talked about yet in this match?
There was a double spine buster from GOA to Shelton Benjamin, which looked like it could have absolutely broke his back with the impact he hit on the mat. I don't understand. Ricochet hit a shooting star on Shelton Benjamin after that, and it did not break the table. I don't know if he didn't get enough height, wasn't enough impact.
Strong ass table.
The table was strong as hell. Yeah, and then you see a spear from MVP.
Yes,
that I think took Toa Leoa through it.
I forget
the match was fantastic. It was a definition of a street fight.
Oh, it was chaotic. It was chaotic because there was like they'd cut to them fighting like outside the ring, and then there's these two inside the ring. Oh, there's MVP and Toa up on the ramp or on the stage. Like it was chaotic.
Yeah, and then I think Bobby Lashley hit a big spine buster, the palm spine buster to Bishop Khan, or on the outside, which then left
Shelton with a
Shelton
German
Ricochet.
Release German.
Yeah, the German suplex
through the table.
My God,
and it was a release, so like he was in the middle of the ring, the table was in the corner, and let go of Ricochet through the table. Insane.
Yeah. And it ended like that was the end.
That was the end, yeah. And then he pulled him into the ring and like away from the table and pinned him.
Absolutely fantastic match.
Yep. So Hurt Syndicate get their win back over the Demand, who beat them in their first. It was a normal match. So the street fight, they get the win in. Of course, the whole thing was like MVP saying that he couldn't keep up with the young guys in wrestling, but he could do it in a fight. So he did.
Yes.
After that, we get an interview with the Don Callis family. They're just kind of talking about the size of the Callis family and how he could strategize for everybody. But my biggest takeaway from this was there was no Andrade.
No,
where the fuck was Andrade?
I'm hoping
he didn't everyone but him.
I'm hoping he didn't take one out of the Warlow playbook and accidentally injured himself. Like, I hate to say that, but like, we've seen that with Warlow. Like, he debuted back, joined Don Callis, injured himself in the attack. I'm hoping Andrade did not.
Yeah, I have no idea. There was no mention of his attack on Kenny or nothing.
No,
nothing.
Except for us talking about it. And
yeah, I was like, why? Okay, where's Andrade? And then I was like, okay, maybe we'll bring it up later. Nothing. Crickets. Nothing about Kenny being attacked by Andrade. Nothing.
Maybe he went to CMLL. Like maybe he's doing stuff there as well.
I'm assuming it's going to probably end up leading to Full Gear. Him and Kenny, my guess.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we got Wrestle Dream next weekend.
We got one more Dynamite before Wrestle Dream.
I know, but I don't think they're gonna add it with just one. Technically, like 2 weeks of build-up. Technically, I would hate that. You can.
I mean, Tony likes to book big cards, so we'll see.
No, I know, but I just don't think it'll be on it. I don't know, but yeah. So that whole segment was just them kind of like talking about like what's gonna happen to Kyle O'Reilly and Kota Ibushi. Oh, spoilers! I do have to bring this up because I just remembered, because it kind of is out there. It's actually the only spoiler I've heard from Collision, by the way. Kota Ibushi actually got severely injured in his match with Josh Alexander that they taped last night, Wednesday, for Collision that's airing Saturday. Supposedly the word backstage that's leaked out to the dirt sheets is a possible broken femur, which is literally the toughest bone in the body to break.
Yes, it is. Damn. I can't wait to see the match because I know it's going to be good.
I feel like it won't air. The match was stopped because of it, and they rushed him to the back.
Oh shit! Yeah, you'll probably see it jump into the tape, the footage. I won't be.
They might
here for
talk about
commercial.
it. Maybe they'll do like maybe they had commentary say like, folks, we did have the match, but he unfortunately got injured, which won't be airing tonight or
Yeah.
something. But I will be shocked if they even try to air that match.
Yeah, it was probably the ankle lock then. Because we know, I think Josh Alexander uses the ankle lock, does he not?
Well, it had nothing to do with the submission. So something happened where they went to the outside and Kota immediately started screaming in pain.
Okay.
So.
Damn.
So it was just a spot that went wrong. And yeah, no, if he broke his femur with the ankle lock, fucking arrest Josh Alexander. Because he was trying to break his femur. But no, it was like something to the outside that broke his leg. Supposedly broke his leg. I'm assuming that's the word from all the dirt sheets right now. It's just that they're hearing that they're expecting a broken femur is what they're hearing.
And didn't he just come like out of retirement because of injuries?
Yeah, he was dealing with a lot of injuries. And he just came back for that match with the Anarchy in the Arena.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So he was only back for like 3 months.
Jesus. Okay.
So that's what they talked about was just the match with Kyle O'Reilly and Kyle Fletcher happening later on in this Callis family segment. My biggest takeaway was there was no Andrade in that. It was like everyone but the injured people and Andrade. So I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, so they just talked about hyping up their matches, kind of like the conglomeration did. After that, we immediately jumped into the Jurassic Express taking on Orion, and I didn't get the other guy's name.
KM.
What was it?
I think is what he went by. KM.
Oh yeah, I've seen them here in Colorado when they come here. Now that you say that,
yeah.
But when they said it, I was like, I only heard something in Orion. I was like, who? Like, okay, Orion is one of them. No, he stayed on the apron and he just kept getting knocked off the apron. I think he got knocked off the apron like twice. Yeah. Or once maybe. But yeah, no, Jurassic Express went in like a 3-4 minute squash match. It went on longer than I expected. At one point they did fight with one of the guys, I think it was the Orion guy, up on the like where the fans sat on the stage for the Daily's place, which was right next to the Bucks, who were right next to kids. So they kept showing the Bucks before that, and they were sitting next to these two kids, but they were like acting like kids with them, like, oh my god, yeah, like high-fiving and just being all excited to be in the crowd. And so then when they came up and fought like right next to them, they were just kind of like eyeing them but acting like fans. So Bucks are hysterical. They crack me the fuck up. But of course after the match, they're up on the turnbuckle celebrating. Bucks come in the ring and they start attacking them. Hit the BTE trigger on Jack Perry. On Lucha, and then they hit the Meltzer driver on Jack Perry.
Yep, the TK driver.
TK. I keep forgetting they changed it because they call it the BTE trigger again. So I figured they were going to call it the Meltzer driver again, but they're probably still calling it TK trigger. Yeah. After that, we get a Pac promo. Oh, actually, what did you think of that match? Sorry.
The match was great. I knew it was going to be a squash match, first and foremost, because first time back since 2022. I knew that was what it was going to be.
Yeah, they had advertised it as in action, so it was obvious it was going to be squash.
The crowd had a good reaction. Of course, there were a lot of people that have watched it and was like, oh, yeah, the crowd just was there. They wasn't really into it. I felt like the crowd was there. It might have just been me because I liked the Jurassic Express gimmick when they first did it. So, and I like that they brought Jack Perry back into it this way.
Yeah, so, and they're just calling him. They're calling him what JR would always call him back in the early days of AEW, Jungle Jack Perry, and that's what they called him. Yeah,
and of course, they're way past him riding it on the shoulders. Like he's not gonna do that, but like it's everything else is still the same.
He did do that. I thought for some reason that was the other guy that was part of them at the beginning. I forgot his name. Michael Stunt. I thought he was the one who rode the shoulders.
Like,
oh no, you're right. It was Jungle Boy because he'd be like all the way back, and then as soon as they came out of the tunnel, he'd flip up because he was too tall with him. I remember now.
Yeah, that was that was the first match I actually when I was flipping through and found AEW. It was their entrance. I was like, oh, this is creative. Like, this is different.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
So it was. I like that they brought it.
Wait,
back.
So you found AEW by flipping through the channels?
Yes.
What? That's crazy to me.
It was a Wednesday night. I got off work and was like, "Hey, what's on?" And I was like,
"You didn't know about AEW? That's crazy to me." I mean, I don't know how long you've been a super diehard wrestling fan though, but like I've been since forever. So like as soon as it got announced, like I know the whole backstory. I'm sure you do now too. But like leading up to everything, I was like all part of like the build up to like why they did 10,000 seats and fucking ROH. Like, you know, the whole thing started based off a tweet. If you didn't know, AW. Someone asked Meltzer on Twitter if any company could run MSG or pull 10,000 in any arena in America besides WWE, and he was like, no. And Cody Rhodes said, "Watch me."
Yeah, see, so I know we're gonna get off track, but like, I didn't keep up with, I guess, the wrestling social media then.
That's right.
I was just like,
that's crazy. That's so crazy to hear that.
And then would come home, watch Raw, go to work the next day, watch NXT when it would come on, watch SmackDown.
That's so
and
crazy. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's so crazy.
And like a Wednesday, I was like, I ain't gotta work tomorrow, so I was just flipping through. There was no football on. I was like, hey, what is AEW Dynamite? And I was like, oh shit, this is interesting. And then
that's crazy how you found it. Yeah, no, I was shit. We'll have to do a podcast where we'll explain like our origins and how we found certain stuff. But yeah, that's crazy. So after the whole Jurassic Express, match, and the Bucks beat down, which eventually leads to, I'll just say it here, it got announced later on in the show, but it led to TK announcing Bucks versus Jurassic Express for WrestleDream for $500,000.
Oh yeah, they got their money match, by God.
So they got their money match, $500,000. So we'll see what happens at WrestleDream. That should be good.
Only $500,000.
And then Death Rider's promo in the parking lot. Pac starts it out talking about his match with OC, coming back from injury, saying that he just has he's just gonna get a little snack of what his appetite is going to, and he's gonna out wrestle him. I forget exactly how he worded it. So he's gonna outclass him, make him suffer. Then he passed the promo on to Yuto, and that's when I was like, boo, this promo lost me. It's funny to go from like a guy with like a thick Blackpool accent or whatever accent he has, this British accent, into Wheeler Yuta's like, all right, guys, so this is what we're gonna do. And I'm like, you lost me. I have a voice just like his, but like you know what I mean? It's just a voice I can't take serious.
Yeah, and then it transitions into Garcia. Well, Garcia actually cut him off, I think.
Yeah. Danny Garcia says that he being a winner is a choice, and they wake up every day wanting to win. That's what he cut him off with.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I really wasn't paying attention to like the facial expressions of everybody else, but like Yuta was kind of like, okay, you cut me off, but all right.
I feel like I didn't pay attention to that either.
And then, but Claudio just randomly halfway through just walks the hell off.
Yeah, just walks, just like, let's go. Yeah.
I want to go fight somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's what
ready.
it was, but
yeah.
We wake up with, by God, let's go win.
Could it be the cracks are forming in the Death Riders?
No, they're pushing Yuta out. I think they're pushing Yuta out.
They've been, though. They've always treated him like ass. Even when they turned on Brian, they were treating him as ass, holding him and making him watch them attack Brian. That's been going on forever. Mm-hmm. It's 2023. Yeah. Or 2024, I mean. So after that, we get to Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. Battle of the Kyles. I was more paying attention to the Ali Ethan, I feel like, at this point, because that match was cooking. So I felt like I missed the whole first maybe 3/4 of this match, because I came in and I feel like when I started tuning in, there was like no chants happening or anything from the crowd. So I was like, did I miss all the good stuff already? Like, crowd's not saying this is Kyle or we want Kyle or nothing. I was like, did I miss all of this? Because I was paying attention to that Ali Page match. It was fire.
Yeah, so I was watching the Ali Page as well, but I caught some of this match throughout the breaks when there was some.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't use, of course, the VPN because it messed with how I was running my stuff that night. But there was at one point there was the Kyle, we want Kyle, and all that stuff back and forth. But the best part I think of this match was the running knee. But there was no commentary, it felt like, for this match. Like, it was quiet.
I caught like the last, I don't even know how many minutes. I'd say 3, maybe 4 most. Because that was after the Page
13 minutes, exactly.
I just caught the end where he caught him. All I really remember was when he finally, like, he caught him in an ankle lock. But he gets out of it, and like that's what I feel like that's where I came into and it was like right at the very end, basically. So maybe it was less than I remember.
Yeah. So, And the way I commentated it was crazy because the chat was like, "Which Kyle's which?" And I was like, "Well, Kyle throws Kyle into the table. Kyle threw Kyle into the chair. Run
Mm,
a knee from Kyle to Kyle."
yeah, I
Trying
did
to
that
give it
too.
some life because it was just. It felt like the crowd just was not invested, and neither was commentary.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go back and watch this one because I feel like maybe I missed some stuff. But
I mean, I might have too, but like where I came in at, because there was a hammerlock guillotine. I don't even remember that. Looking
I
back at
just
the
remember he won
notes,
with the brainbuster because I fucking love the brainbuster. It looks like you're killing your opponent. So
yeah, the teardrop
sheer drop,
brainbuster.
sheer,
Sheer, is it sheer?
sheer, sheer drop.
Sheer. All right, cool. I thought it was a teardrop.
So did I for a long time. But yeah, no, fun. What I did see was fun. Like it was really fast paced, but I really didn't catch a lot of this match, unfortunately. But I did see the end. Afterwards,
Yes,
Lance Archer
yes.
comes in the ring, chokeslams Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Ishii come in, try to make the save. Rocky Romero comes in. So comes the Callis family, and the Hills come in control. But then Mark Briscoe's music hits, and he comes out, and he's able to sway everything, and send the Callis family packing. And it sets up later when we came back from break. Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis talk to Renee, and she announces that he will be defending that title against Mark Briscoe, and I believe their fourth matchup they've had against each other, third matchup, something like that.
Yes.
They've had a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah, and I think Briscoe's kind of got the advantage, right?
I don't remember. Probably that's probably the story they're trying to tell here, since he's.
Since he's going for the title.
Yeah.
Do they? They don't drop the title off Fletcher this fast.
No.
But how do you?
That's what I don't like about this. They just had Briscoe come off his big win over MJF like a month ago, not even 3 weeks ago, and now he's going to be facing for the TNT title, which is fine. I would rather him be going for the world title in some way. I mean, it doesn't have to be at this pay-per-view, but at least building him up to that. Because I feel like if he eats a loss here, then that kind of takes away from the MJF win.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Because that was a former world, like the longest reigning AEW world champion.
What if he? I know MJF's filming a movie, but like, what if he's the reason he doesn't win?
Possible. I mean, MJF was filming Happy Gilmore 2, and he still showed up to that one Dynamite to have the match with Mark.
That's true. I mean,
or whoever it was.
Warlow tore his pec, right? Or was it bicep? I can't remember. But maybe Andrade cost him the match. I don't think he loses clean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, anyone from the Callis family can get involved for sure. I don't know Andrade specifically, but that would make sense.
I mean, you got like 12 of them. Someone can show up.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Lance Archer. He's always out there with Don, anyways.
Yeah. It could be a return Don Callis family. I know, but like Brian Cage.
Oh yeah, Brian Cage is out. Trent is out. And then I guess Wardlow, but he's gonna be out for a while. And then Mark Davis is the other one out still too.
Davis could come back and cost Briscoe the match.
Maybe that's a good point. So after all that, we get to Mercedes Moné's open challenge, and it was specifically to someone like a native Floridian or like someone that was from Florida, because that's where they were. Turned out to be Lacey Lane, the former Kaden Carter of WWE.
Yes.
Yep. So I was not correct. I said I thought it was, well, that was her name before WWE too. So she had that before she was even in WWE. She just went back to it. I thought it was gonna be Izzy Moreno. That's who I thought it would be.
You did, yep.
But not Lacey Lane. And this was a solid match. I feel like I didn't fully pay attention to it. I feel like I did, but I didn't. But like it wasn't like anything crazy, but it wasn't a bad match either.
It wasn't. This was has Lacey Lane. Yeah, she said it was a dream match for her. That never really got to happen, but now it does. So they had a great match. But of course, they don't have a definite person to take the title yet from Mercedes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way.
Until she beats Jade's record, which I don't see.
Which is like in 8 days or something. So.
Yeah, and I don't think she's got a match yet at Wrestle Dream.
I don't think she'll be on Wrestle Dream.
You think this will be the one she skips?
Mm-hmm. She doesn't have nothing going on, so unless they run back her in Windsor, but where the fuck has she been?
Windsor is currently feuding with Sari, Sareee on Ring of Honor.
Why? I mean, that's not
I
a
don't
bad
know.
match, but why is that on there? Anyways, I guess that means I should try to watch ROH, huh? After that, we had Sammy Guevara promo with B. Smartos talking about LFI. They said Eddie Kingston's gonna have a bad time against Smartos on Saturday. And he says whatever. I didn't really pay attention. I saw Sammy. I was like, okay, what's happening on NXT? Yeah. So it just kind of promo back and forth there with Eddie and Sammy. I didn't really pay attention.
I don't know. And then I did catch it this time. You talked about it last week. Sammy did use a little bit of that accent
Weird,
that
right?
she was
Like
talking
I
about.
get it.
Yes.
I get it. He's part of that fight, but he's never used it before, so it's weird.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's weird. I think he only did it when he said adios because he said it's gonna be adios to Eddie Kingston because like it's gonna be adios or however he did it. I don't remember, but it's weird because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what was next was amazing. Brodito versus Okada and Takeshita was fucking incredible. Probably the match of Dynamite.
Yeah, it was, and I like how they really focused on Bandito's shoulder.
Yes,
I,
from
I
his
know it's
match
I know
with
it's
if you don't know, so he had defended the ROH title against Tetsuya, or no, it was a CMLL match, I believe. Actually, it might have been for the ROH title. Anyways, face Tetsuya and CMLL. They're doing this. I don't know if it's legit or a spot, but they did a thing where they said that his arm got pulled out the socket shoulder.
Yep.
And so they focused on that in the match, and he had like a whole bandage like wrapped around his body to his shoulder.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch. I guess it was in CMLL, right? Is where that happened.
I believe so.
So I didn't. I seen like some highlights on social media of the match, but yeah, I mean, I think it was an automatic like match stopped
I think
when
so.
it happened. Oh,
Are you here? What?
you camera cut off there, boss friend.
Oh, is it still buffering?
But it's not buffering. It just shows your logo. There it is.
Weird. I saw it on my end. That was weird. Like, I mean, my camera was still there. That's so weird.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Anyways,
Might have been something on my side, but yeah. For me, this match, the tag in at the end. So Takeshita hit the I think it was his not power bomb, but he hits that. It's not Blue Thunder bomb. It's called something else.
yeah, well, it's
I
Thunder
can't
Bomb, but
remember.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Okada automatically tags himself in, hits the Rainmaker 1, 2, 3. So they automatically get a title shot, but you can see the cracks happening.
Oh yeah, they started each other down
Okada.
afterwards.
Yeah, so I just want to, in my opinion, who's going to be the one now to leave? Will it be Takeshita, or is it just going to be Okada leaves?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be Takeshita still. That's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, it would be because he could win the IWGP.
Yeah, so he
title
faces
Monday.
World title.
So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting at Wrestle Dream for sure on how they play out all this, because that's a Wrestle Dream match as well.
Yeah.
But yes, tonight talking about the Alex Windsor, that is tonight on Ring of Honor.
Nice.
Alex Windsor versus Asari. I cannot remember how to pronounce her name.
That should be good. So after that, Takeshita shoved Okada and gets him moving out of the ring, and as Brody King checks on Bandito. And then we had Renee interview Willow and Jet Speed, who are going to be taking on Stokely and FTR on Saturday in a trios match. Not Stokely, sorry, FTR and Megan. My apologies. Megan Bain. So we get that promo from Speedball or Jet Speed and Willow, and then when we come back from break, we get FTR and Megan promo and Penelope. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay attention to any of these. The Willow one I did, but it was just them hyping up their match for Saturday. Both of these really.
Yeah. Megan changed the exit
Yeah,
for
she just said
FTR.
top gods out.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if that's gonna be a faction there, if it's gonna be long running, or if it's just for this little short go. My thing, are they gonna put Penelope and Megan Bain in the Blood and Guts or the tag team hunt? And when is that gonna start?
They said the
When
tag
do we
titles would
think?
be later this year, so I'm assuming late November.
So they'll start building after Blood and Guts.
I would assume so.
Probably have the match in Full Gear.
Yeah.
That makes
Maybe,
sense.
or even World's End. Like maybe they start like a tournament at World End or at Full Gear. Oh yeah, and then we also had an interview with Bandito or Brodito, and Bandito like was apologizing, saying it was his fault, his injury made him why they lost. And then of course Brody King speaks up and just says, "You're one of the best wrestlers is walking this earth right now," and they're gonna retain. So, but Bandito actually made me feel bad for him. I was like, "Oh, he feels bad that he's hurt." And then after that, we jumped into Orange Cassidy and Pac. They continue to have some fucking amazing chemistry against each other. Also, Pac with new gear, by the way. He's wearing a singlet with
Yeah,
pants.
singlet and pants. Yeah.
And so obviously he cut his hair, which he had the same look and same gear look for like a decade. So since his NXT days, he rocked the trunks and the long hair look, whether that be with a beard or not, up until his return to the ring last night or on Tuesday. And so that was weird that he had pants and a singlet on. Kind of like the Bret Hart type of look almost.
Yeah, it was different. And I think Taz might have mentioned it, or someone did. Might have been someone in my chat too, but you can tell he trained hard to ensure he was coming back in best shape he's ever been in.
He's always been in looking like that though, so I don't even know. I feel like he's always looked like that. I've seen the comparison where he was like skinnier in the NXT days because he was doing 205 gimmick, and so now he's not. He's just whatever. He's just going fucking hard. But like he's always been in great shape. I feel like.
Yeah, I think it was Taz that mentioned it, and I didn't. I was like, I thought he was always in great shape, but yeah, he looked completely different, like ring gear. But the match with him and Orange Cassidy, it was phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah, they have great chemistry. That was like their fifth match against each other, and it was really good chemistry. They fought in the crowd, like on that like Tron crowd area, I think. And he tombstone pile drivered OC on them, and then he kicked him down the stairs.
Yeah, then the handcuffs out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then so that's where Darby appeared up in that like little crowd area because they're like at the top, and he handcuffed his foot to the risers, I guess, and he broke free. He somehow got out of them pretty quickly, but he was able to get in the ring, beat the 10 count. But it leads to Cassidy surprisingly winning via the victory roll, the roll up.
Yeah, he had an orange punch, maybe.
And then the roll up. It says leaps back in the ring to only get caught by the victory roll.
Okay, so maybe. No, he didn't hit the orange punch. Maybe he just did the victory roll. That is right. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he didn't hit shit. Just roll up.
The table spot, though, the hands in the pocket, and just
oh yeah, yeah.
Like that was. I mean, he couldn't protect himself. So I was like those chairs and everything sitting there. I was like, God, that could end bad. But it was a great spot.
Yeah, it was a trust fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, solid match. Afterwards, Darby reappeared. He had a backpack. He looked fucking pissed. He was yelling at Pac. Pac goes to chase him, but Darby Allin sprayed him with pepper spray. Then Willie Aruda showed up. So did Claudio. Darby pulls out a stun gun. That's when Marina and Mox roll up. He waves it towards Daniel Garcia. Then he runs backstage. Then the death. Oh no, that's when Marina and Moxley show up. And then he comes back out with a fucking Molotov cocktail. So he has the glass bottle. You can see the liquid in it, and he has like the rag sticking out of it. He grabs his lighter. As soon as he goes to light it, he lights the lighter, and he's tackled by AEW security. And you could hear the Molotov break and stuff. And they like eventually struggle with Darby, and then the other security's like keeping the Death Riders back from him. And then they just pick up Darby and they carry him out of the arena. The security.
that match is a I quit match.
Yes.
Darby is crazy enough not to quit, no matter what is happening to him.
Yeah, I think he
I
has
don't,
to win.
I don't know what. Like this match is going to be probably. It's going to be worse than the Texas Death Match.
Maybe.
It's it's going to be insane.
I mean, we've
And,
seen Jack Perry get set on fire in a match by Darby.
yeah, I mean that's true.
I always remember that because
But,
me and my cousin Ricky were watching that pay-per-view, and I think that was when Jack Perry kept like he was like using his bus or whatever. Anyways, like so they like did like a spot in the back, and we hadn't seen him in a while. And I remember Ricky's like, "Where the fuck is Jack Perry? Like, where has he been?" Then he comes back out, and he's just like soaking wet. Like every bit of him is just wet. And he was like, "Why is he wet? What the fuck happened? Why is he wet?" And then Darby with the flamethrower. I was like, "Ah!" Yeah, and I just remember my cousin grabbing my arm and just screaming. He's like, "That shit's real!"
Yeah, Darby's going to do some crazy shit in that match.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. Hangman hung him to win the title, make him submit. Yeah. So we've seen Moxley tap just back in July because he was being hung basically to death in kayfabe. But yeah, Darby has to win that, right?
Has to.
Yeah.
That's just. But then at that point, what are we doing with the Death Riders? So I mean, it goes either way.
I mean, I think they're on their way to break up, or at least a new version of them.
Yeah, I could see it happening.
But I thought it was a really good Dynamite, especially going up on a Tuesday against NXT.
Yep, it was absolutely.
So we have to talk about our predictions that we did from WrestlePalooza and All Out. We tied. We had quite a few of the same predictions, but we also had quite a bit different ones, and we still fucking tied. We had a bet where the loser had to wear a pro wrestling related shirt picked by the winner. So no one won because we had, I think it was like 8-8. We both like 8-8 or whatever it was. So we're going to continue this into Crown Jewel and Bound for Glory, which is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So the full card for Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed, Australian Street Fight, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky versus Kabuki Warriors, Cena versus AJ, Women's Crown Jewel title, Stephanie versus Tiffany, and Cody versus Seth for the Men's Crown Jewel title. Let's start with this, PLE. Okay. Let's start with the Rhea Io Kabuki Warriors. I think, especially since it's in Australia and the story they've been telling, I think Io and Rhea are going to get the win over the Kabuki Warriors here.
I do too. They haven't had Rhea lose in Australia, so I think it would just be odd that it happens.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Kabuki Warriors are going to get the win. I just feel like it's not there yet. The next PLE, yes, but not this one.
Okay, so we're in agreement on that one. John Cena, AJ Styles. I have John Cena. He's going to get that 100th pay-per-view win right here.
Yep, he will get the 100. I agree 100%.
This is going to go bad, isn't this? We're gonna tie again, aren't we?
No. I don't see a sign on this one.
All right.
As much as I would like to see AJ win it, it's not happening.
Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, Australian Street Fight. It's gonna be. I think they're actually gonna give it to Bronson.
Okay, we may tie. Yeah, this will be the one Bronson takes over Roman.
Yeah, he's gonna get help. They're gonna help Seth, and they're gonna help Bronson. All right, so we have the same. All right, Stephanie versus Tiffany. I got Stephanie.
I got Tiffany.
God, we got one different at least on Crown Jewel at least.
They're gonna give Tiffany this win. She is undefeated in singles action in 2025. I do not see them breaking that yet until she loses the actual title.
I think she loses right here clean. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Men's Crown Jewel. I got Seth with the help of the Vision. God damn it. All right, so we have everything the same but one. This is not going well.
I think this is how it went last time.
No, we had more different on WrestlePalooza. We had way more different. We had at least 3. Bound for Glory 2025 we're also going to include, so that has 9 matches. I think some of these might be pre-show, so we'll try to stick with the main ones here. Or not, maybe we'll do them all. Frankie Kazarian, Steve Maclin for the TNA International title. I'm going to go with Kazarian retaining. He just won it.
Yeah, he just won it. But I have Steve Maclin getting the title back.
Okay. All right, cool. So we're different on that one. Thank God. All right. And Trick Williams, we'll do that last. Hardys versus Team 3D. One final table, they're calling this. I'm going to go with the Hardys.
Yeah, Hardys. I don't have them giving the NXT titles to the Dudleys unless the Hardys were not okay with being on NXT.
So we got that one the same. Okay, so Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell. I'm going to go with Indy. The Knockouts title.
Yes. No, I got Kalani.
Okay.
I don't have him dropping it off of Kalani that quick.
Okay, so you have Mackie and you have Kalani while I have the opposite. Okay. And then for the system, I didn't even know this was happening. A 10-person intergender hardcore war. The system taking on Order 4. Mustafa Ali, Tasha Still, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hutchin, John Skyler. So that's Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, and JDC.
I mean, I haven't been watching a lot of TNA. I didn't know they were in a big feud. But give me the system.
I am going to agree. I really don't know who to pick here, so I'm going to go with this. You know what? Fuck it. Just for shits and gigs, I'm going to pick the Order 4. Fuck you.
Oh, God. TNA will be the decider.
I need Order 4 to win just so we could fucking have a winner here. All right. Tessa Blanchard, Gia Miller. I feel like it's going to be Tessa.
Gia.
Okay. Non-wrestler is going to get the win over the wrestler. That's what he's saying. Call your shot gauntlet. We're not going to do that one. It's 20 people. That's hard to pick. Inspiration versus the Elegance brand Knockouts titles. I'm going to go with the Inspiration. I think they're going to re-sign and keep the titles.
Yeah, I mean, they just won them a week ago. Yeah, I take the Inspiration.
Okay, so we're tied on that. And then Leon and Javon, I'm going to go with...
I'm taking Javon. You can go ahead and put me down for Javon Evans.
I'm going to go with Leon. I honestly am. We'll see, man. And then Trick Williams, Mike Santana. I got Mike Santana. I'm assuming you're the same.
Yeah, they gotta give it. They're gonna give it to Mike Santana, not in his home state or city. They're gonna crown him the champ outside.
All right, so there you go. All of our predictions. We have everything the same on Crown Jewel, but the women's Crown Jewel match. So we both agreed Bronson. We both agreed Rhea and Io. We both agreed Cena. We both agreed Seth. But we disagreed on Stephanie Tiffany. He's got Tiffany. I got Stephanie. And then he's got Steve Maclin for the international title. I got Kazarian. We both got Mike Santana over Trick Williams. We both got the Hardys over the Dudleys. He picked Kalani over Indy. I picked Indy. I chose Order... What are they called? Fucking Order 4. Just because, fuck him. Because I want to win. It's the reason I chose Order 4. Surprisingly, he chose Gia Miller, in my opinion. That's surprising. I get the story would have set up for Gia to win, but I don't think she won.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go off of that. Well, she attacked her and all that. Yeah.
Call your shot. We're not including because it's a 20-person gauntlet. That's hard to call.
Like an entrant number 15 wins.
We could choose a number, but there's so many numbers that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
He chose the Inspiration as well as I did, and then he chose Javon Evans while I chose Leon Slater. So those are all of our picks. I have them all written down, ready to go. So I'll keep track like I did for Palooza and All Out. Yeah, so there you go. We'll see. The loser has to wear a shirt wrestling related by the winner's choosing. So it could be if somehow, some way, one of us can get our hands on that AJ Styles come shirt, you're wearing it, bud. You know, or me, whoever. I mean, you know, whatever. Jesus. I'm just saying it's going to be a bad wrestling shirt one of us has to wear. One that we're not going to be proud of. Be like, yeah, I end up getting that. Be like, fuck, I don't want to wear that. Fuck.
It's like, God. But
yeah,
it's going to be fun.
Anything to add before we shout ourselves out?
No, I think we've covered
Oh my
everything
god,
except
2 hours
for
and 40 minutes. Jesus Christ.
I think yeah. I mean, other than an 8 o'clock, 8 in the morning SmackDown, 6 your time, it's just
I say Sunday, if we can. Let's do a podcast after Bound for Glory. Not time Monday before Raw because we have a lot to talk about. A lot. You know? We
yeah.
have to get a podcast in for Crown Jewel and Bound for Glory before we get into next Thursdays or whatever day. We need it. My goal right now is to get multiple days going if we can. Obviously, school, work, everything gets involved, so we'll have to work it out. But I think we need to try it too because there's so much to get into. 2 hours and 40 minutes on this. Fuck me.
It's I mean, it's when a lot of wrestling's going on and it's a lot of good stuff to talk about. We have great opinions about
That's what I'm saying.
different
We need to
things.
split this into different days so we could get shorter podcasts. And this is long, but we'll get more. We're plus with the chemistry flowing, we're getting better at figuring this out for us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but yeah, shout yourself out. Where can people watch you outside the podcast?
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Kick under the Kraken Wrestling.
And you can find me as Josh Vibes Up on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, all the social medias. The links will be down below, as well as the link to Cracks on YouTube where you can follow him everywhere. And yeah, I guess that's gonna call it. We have Crown Jewel, SmackDown tomorrow, Crown Jewel Saturday. I'm going to a local indie show on Saturday night. I'm gonna get to see Sam Stackhouse. It's like a hillside of horror shows. It's like a wrestling Halloween show. It's gonna be dope. And then of course we got Bound for Glory. We have a lot going on this weekend.
A ton, but that's what's gonna make it interesting. There's a lot going on. Yeah, Sunday's gonna be my best bet, but we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.